Welcome. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. This is Wolf, and we are broadcasting live across Facebook, across YouTube, across Instagram, across Twitch, and you are back once again. We are back once again for another live tarot reading with Wolf broadcast. This one, we're going to be doing a bit of a marathon version, so thank you so much for being here. Of course, for those of you who are familiar, we'll get more into the details of what to be able to expect from this broadcast, but in the first few minutes, I just want to be able to invite people to please feel free to start sharing this, and it just takes a few extra moments as I have to do a little bit of behind the scenes technical work to be able to help share the broadcast on Facebook. So for those of you joining in, go ahead, make yourself comfortable and allow me to be able to get things all situated. And yeah, aloha and thank you so much. Hey Nick, thank you so much for tuning in. For those of you on Facebook, seeing you in the YouTube chat, and again, for those of you who are here perhaps for the first time, stick around. This version, we're going to be doing a bit of a marathon version, which is going to be pretty exciting. So if you're looking to be able to get a reading live on air, then please feel free to share this broadcast and drop a 333 in the comments and stand by for further instructions, and please make yourself comfortable. And so what we're going to be doing here, we're going to be doing some tarot card readings for the purpose of collective inspiration, for the purpose of being able to check in with the cosmic weather of the universe, to be able to see what messages are here to come through. And so again, with this being a marathon, we'll see how long this broadcast goes, but I'm willing to stick it out for at least several eons will be the intention. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining in, wherever you are, whenever you are. And again, just give me a few moments here, as it just takes a little bit of extra time for us to be able to share the broadcasts across a few different networks, such as the Facebook group. So if you're watching this, please feel free to join in with sharing this broadcast, and please feel free to leave your comments. Let us know that you are here, and I will totally give you lots of love through the shoutouts. We did a broadcast earlier today. That went well. That definitely did a decent job of being able to reach a variety of people. And I said that I was going to be doing a broadcast later today, so here we are. So again, give me 2 seconds here, as it just takes a couple extra minutes. But if you are here, please feel free to just leave your comments. Maybe if it's your first time, go ahead, let us know. And if you're looking for a tarot reading, drop a 333 in the comments. And again, if you're watching this on Instagram, go ahead and swipe up on my Instagram stories for the videos there as well. And give me 2 seconds as I'm just sharing this here. So yeah, we've been doing these readings, we've been doing these broadcasts started them a few weeks ago in this variation, and yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with them. Again, feedback on them has been great. I know a lot of people are really enjoying being able to just like tune in and chill out. I know a lot of people are just like, yo, this is really cool. This is a cool way to be able to bring together community. So again, welcome. Thank you so much for joining in. So just working on getting the feed out through Facebook, which takes a few seconds because we have to manually share it to the groups. And we are broadcasting on Twitch, we are broadcasting on YouTube, we're broadcasting on Facebook. Awesome. Nick, thanks so much for joining in. Thank you for being here. I'm glad that you're able to make it for one of the live tarot readings. So for those of you who are familiar, what we'll do a live tarot reading for those people within the chat. I want to be able to at least get the live viewer kicked off on Facebook to at least like 10 people on Facebook, because that way, so it just helps build the momentum from there. So right now I'm just in the process of sharing this to a few different pages. So I'm just sharing this into a few different groups right now. Awesome. So again, thank you so much. For those of you who may be tuning in for the first time, my name is Wolf. I've been creating conscious media for quite some time now, and I'm very passionate about being able to help make a difference in the world by being able to help bring together a global team of shifters, light guardians, of people who are intentionally helping assist with the shift in consciousness through acts of creativity and compassion. And yeah, doing these readings, doing these broadcasts, again, like this is practice. This is practice for me as well, to be able to just continue to practice being a conduit for the infinite knowledge of the universe. So if you're here, thank you so much. Aloha to those of you on Instagram as well. Aloha to Ether Mendez. Aloha to Amy Joe. Aloha to Pink Doll Mafia. Thank you so much for tuning in. And again, if you're watching this on Instagram and you would like to, or sorry, if you're watching this on any platform and you'd like to be able to get a reading, what we'll do is we'll pick someone from the chat in the next few moments. And if you would like a reading, drop a 333 in the comments. And then from there, also be sure to share the broadcast. So that's like the initial instructions. Share the broadcast, drop a 333 in the comments, and then stand by for further instructions. And so we've shared this to a few groups, and so if you are watching this, please feel free to forward this broadcast to your friends. And again, we're doing this at it's a little bit later in the evening, so we'll see how it goes in terms of being able to build up momentum. That's obviously a big part of being able to do the broadcast, is being able to create momentum through people joining in. And for those of you tuning in on Instagram, please feel free to jump over to the YouTube channel to be able to sync up there. For those of you just joining on the Facebook, please join in helping share this broadcast across whatever networks, across any groups. So again, if you would like to be able to get a reading on air, go ahead and share the broadcast, help us reach more people, and help us create a little bit of a late night tarot party here that we got going on. So allow me 2 seconds as we're just focusing on sharing things out here, working on building up the momentum, and be sure to just continue engaging with the live chat there. And so the way how it works is that we'll pick someone from the live chat to be able to do a first reading with, and then for anybody who wants to be able to jump the line to be able to get the next reading for, then go ahead and you can do that by being able to sign up on the Patreon, which is a monthly micro donation to be able to help support artists. And so I have my own Patreon, so you can check that out, the link on screen. And so if you're haven't already yet, please feel free to sync up with that, and you can find all sorts of awesome value there. But nevertheless, we will still do a reading for people just within the live chat. So it looks like, again, right now I'm keeping an eye on the YouTube chat. Angela, thank you so much. Nick, thank you again. Definitely down for a reading, says Nick. Absolutely. So checking in with the Twitch chat. Yeah, things are, again, a big part of being able to do the broadcast. We want to be able to help build the momentum so that more people have the opportunity to be able to tune in. And let me just see where else we can share this broadcast to. All right, I'm going to share it to the Lightworkers feed. Being able to create the momentum on the broadcast is definitely a part of the tactic behind being able to do these that way, so we can reach more people, and then it kind of creates like a cascading momentum. Awesome. Amy, thank you so much for joining in. Stand by. We'll do a reading in the next few moments. Again, for anybody who happens to be tuned in right now, I want to be able to just invite you to, yeah, definitely subscribe if you haven't subscribed already on YouTube. That way so you can sync up for more broadcasts. And we got lots more that we do here through the community. And also share this broadcast on, if you're on Facebook, be sure to just like share it to a page or share it to a group and invite more people to tune in that way. And then I'm going to give you the next instructions. All right, cool. So like I said, just want to, sometimes it takes, like, again, part of the aspect of doing this is just being able to create a bit of that initial momentum. So it looks like it's starting to build on Facebook. So if you're tuned into this on Facebook and you would like a reading, please feel free to drop a 333 in the comments. We've got a watch party going on in the live Lightworkers live feed. So thank you and welcome everybody who may be joining in on that aspect of the broadcast. And if you would like a reading, please feel free to drop a 333 in the comments and share this broadcast, and stay tuned for the next instructions. And you sharing this broadcast is an awesome way just to be able to help more people sync up with it, and then we get a sweet party going on here. So thank you, Fran, thank you, Angie, for joining in. And awesome, Malika, thank you so much for joining in. And how are we doing right now? Cool. All right, just keeping an eye on the numbers. Cool. All right, so there we go. So we're starting to build up momentum now. So we've got about like 10 people on the Facebook. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. So again, if you would like a reading on air, the way how we do is that we pick someone from the chat, and the process for being able to get a reading on air is to follow these instructions. Step 1, share this broadcast. Step 2, drop a 333 down into the comments. And then I'm going to give you another piece of instruction, and then from that will allow us to synchronistically be able to allow someone from the chat for us to be able to choose to do a reading for. And so cool, awesome. Fran, thank you so much. Dawn, thank you so much. Perry, thank you so much for joining in. And for those of you tuning in right off my wall, thank you so much for joining in there as well. Aloha to Will, aloha to John Shields. Thank you so much. So again, let's do one reading here just to be able to get things started. And again, asking for backup to be able to just share this broadcast if you haven't already yet, because that allows more people to be able to tune in. So you're helping the team here when you share this broadcast so that more people can find it. So if you got like a bunch of like Facebook groups that you can share this to, like please feel free to like share this into like a few different groups at the same time. So there's so many Facebook groups. I know there really are, and a simple share to one can absolutely go a long way. So again, part of my intention is I'm gonna be down to like do this broadcast for at least a few hours is what we're gonna be able to do. So let's get right into our first reading here. And sweet. All right, cool. So if you're tuned into this, thank you so much for being here. My name is Brendan. I'm a conscious media creator. I've been creating conscious media on YouTube and all sorts of aspects of the internet for quite a while now, to be able to help inspire people to choose to be the change they wish to see, to be able to help build a global team of shifters, of light guardians, of people actively helping assist with the shift in consciousness. So hey, if you're tuned into this broadcast, then that means that like you are in resonance like with that role, with that archetype. So thank you so much for being here. So let's get right into that first reading. Thank you again, everyone, for your patience, for hanging out. And if you would like to be able to get a first reading, here are your instructions. If you just joined in this moment and you haven't already yet, step 1, share this broadcast with your friends and continue to keep sharing it. It's absolutely appreciated. Step 2, drop a 333 down into the comments. And step 4 is I'm going to tell you a number, and then you're going to enter this number into the chat. And then the 5th person who enters their name into the chat across the multiple chats, so we got Facebook, we got YouTube, and we got Instagram. The 5th person who tunes in, who drops the comment in the chat with the number that I tell them to, that is the person who we are going to choose for this reading. So right now, yeah, cool. So we got, again, there's about like 20 people tuned in right now. So I'm definitely... So good job, team. Thank you. Thank you again for helping with that. And please feel free to continue sharing this. So what we're going to do, we're going to pick someone from the chat following these instructions. And I'm seeing the 333s, so I appreciate you guys hanging out here. And then from there, we'll do the reading for the first person. And then the reading following that, it will either continue to be like someone from the live chat, which is totally cool. We can definitely do more of those. But if you want to jump the line, you can sign up for the Patreon, and the Patreon is a monthly micro donation to be able to help support artists and creators. And so I have my own Patreon, and you can sign up for as little as $3 to $5, $11, $1,000. It's really up to you. And go ahead and check out the Patreon link when you can if you haven't yet. And part of the marathon is being able to help raise additional signups, being able to help invite people to be able to help sign up on the Patreon. And again, that is super, super appreciated. And signing up on the Patreon just continues to help support us in being able to provide this value for the community. So if you value what it is that we are creating here as a community, then absolutely go ahead and sign up for the Patreon, and we'll keep an eye open for that. The objective for this broadcast is to get at least 3 to 5 new Patreon signups. So if this is your first time meeting me, then thank you so much for tuning in, and go ahead and check out the Patreon when you can. And the next person who signs up for that will get the next reading after this one. So I'll give you some more instructions on that. And also, when you sign up for the Patreon, you can also get a super dope Light Guardian crystal. And again, these are awesome tools, toys, and talismans. And you can get one of these for as much as you wish to pay once you sign up to the Patreon. So let's do a reading for someone from the chat. So again, here are the instructions. Thank you again, everyone, for being here, for hanging out, for your patience. The intention of this broadcast is to bring more clarity, inspiration, and insight to assist us on our journey, and to also build community. So thanks for just hanging out and building community. So here are the instructions. If you haven't already yet, share this broadcast. Drop a 333 in the comments just to be able to let me know that you want a reading. Some of you have already done that. That's cool. And then the next part. Here's the next part. So here we're about to choose that person. I'm going to give you a number, and you're going to type this number into the chat. The 5th person to type this number into the chat is the person that we're going to choose to do this reading for. But you can only enter in this number once. And this kind of allows the lag to be able to balance things out. And I'm determining this based on multiple chats. So we got a few different chats. We got a watch group in the Lightworkers live feed group. So shout out to the Lightworkers live feed group. We got the feed on my own personal Facebook page. We got the YouTube, we got Twitch, and we got Instagram. So here's the number. So if you want to be able to possibly get the first reading, here's the number. And if you would like to be able to jump the line, go ahead and sign up for the Patreon, and we'll keep an eye open for the next person to sign up for the Patreon. So the number that you're going to enter, and again, you're going to be the 5th person to enter this. So don't enter it right away. Ease up on the hitting the enter button. Even just close your eyes, hover your finger above the enter button, and then hit enter. The number that you're going to enter into the chat is 777. So type 777 into the chat. Don't hit enter right away, because you want to be the 5th person to enter this across the multiple chats that I'm looking at. And then that person will be the first person who we choose to do the reading for. So we'll keep an eye on this. Thank you again, everyone, for hanging out. Again, this is going to be a bit of a marathon broadcast. I'm totally down to be here for a few hours. And the intention here is to be able to help provide awesome value and service for the community, while also being able to help invite people to be able to help support on the Patreon as well. So, all right, cool. So based on my observation of what we got here, the 5th person is Nick. So Nick in the YouTube chat is going to be the first person that we're going to do the reading for here. So if you're just dropping in the 777 now, thank you again for being here, for hanging out. And again, we're going to do this reading for Nick, but as much as this is for Nick, I remind each of us that if you're here, if you're simply tuned into this, then this reading is still for you. This reading is for all of us. So that's kind of the cool thing, if this is your first time joining in about these readings, is that this is a collective team reading, which is really, really exciting for us to be able to do this way. So thank you, just huge shouts. Thank you to John, thank you to Ellie, thank you to Will, Trey, Bianca, Wendy, Maja. Thank you to Wendy and Denise and Carrie as well, and Karen and Garrett and Amy. So we got people across all the channels. So thank you again so much. So let's get into the first reading with Nick. And again, if you would like to be able to jump the line, to be able to be the next person for us to do a reading for, go ahead and sign up for the Patreon. And that only takes about 3 minutes to sign up. And you can help us reach our next goal on the Patreon. You can see we're working towards 150. And again, shout out to Chad, Jennifer, and Chantel, our recent Patreon supporters. And again, the Patreon is a monthly micro donation of your choice. So you can literally sign up for $3. and the donations don't process until the beginning of October. And you can also get a Light Guardian crystal for as much as you wish to pay. So when you sign up for the Patreon, you can get a Light Guardian crystal, which is a super awesome tool, toy, and talisman that I make, for as much as you wish to pay, which is a super awesome deal. So let's get into the reading here for Nick. So again, I'm answering any questions as people drop them in. So again, sign up for the Patreon. I posted the link into the chats, and it only takes about 3 minutes to sign up. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that for the next person to be able to sign up for the Patreon. And then again, if we continue to get more Patreon signups, for each person who signs up for the Patreon, that next reading will be for you. And otherwise, we'll just continue to be able to like pull people out from the live chat, which is totally cool. So either way, happy to be able to be here, happy to be able to serve, and we'll keep an eye open for that next Patreon sign up. And thank you again, everyone, for hanging out. So let's get right into this. So Nick, I invite you to just be able to drop into your heart space. And for everybody here, drop into your heart space. And I invite each of us here, Nick specifically, talking to you. And Nick, just comment in the chat. Just type like ready. Let me know that you're ready. And I invite you to be able to drop into the intention of show me what I need to see. So again, like with these readings, when we do these, this is less about like a fortune telling. This is more about an opportunity for the universe to be able to like hold a mirror up for us. For us to be able to see something of value. For us to be able to see something where we will be able to receive additional insight and inspiration. So, awesome. So Nick, go ahead. Drop into that intention of show me what I need to see. So we're going to do this reading here for Nick, and then we're going to keep an eye on the first person of the night to be able to sign up for the Patreon. And then they will be the next person who we do a reading for. And thank you again, everyone. Please feel free to keep sharing this broadcast. And we'll set like a little bit of a time frame. And yeah, we'll go with the flow. So if there's like, if no one else signs up for the Patreon, then we'll pull someone straight from the chat. But again, if you want to jump the line, go ahead and sign up for the Patreon. And awesome. So there we go. So we got our first new Patreon sign up for tonight. Thank you so much to T. Marie. Thank you so much, T. Marie, for signing up on the Patreon. So T. Marie is going to be our second person that we do the reading for. And then again, if you want to be able to like get in the line, go ahead and sign up for the Patreon. And we're working towards 5 new signups tonight. So that's our first sign up for tonight. So thank you again, T. Marie. And again, when you sign up, T. Marie, I'll send you a direct message. And you can also get your Light Guardian Crystal for as much as you wish to pay afterwards. And you can also get the Lumerian ones, but I'll show you that after we do this reading. All right, Nick. Let me know in the comments, Nick. Drop a comment. Let me know that you're ready. Let's get right into this reading. Thank you again, everyone, for being here, for rocking it, and for showing up and for doing the work. That's what this is about. Like, this is about, like, doing the work. All right. As I take a sip from my spider mug here. And just by you watching this broadcast, you just get, like, lots of good vibes. Like, I send my, like, super cosmic Reiki energy to you. So let's just all take a breath here. Deep, gentle inhale. Just connect with our breath here. Maybe this is like your first real breath of the day. Oh, just feel any tingling sensations up the spine. Allow yourself to even just kind of like visualize just being in like a really chill space right now, surrounded by amazing people with great intention, beautiful energy, just hanging out. And here to be able to hold each other up to our highest growth. Awesome. All right. Nick, I want to make sure that you're here in the chat. So drop a comment in the chat saying that you're ready. Because if Nick's not here, then we'll move on to another person. But if Nick's here, then we'll... Nick is in the YouTube chat. So Nick, inviting you to be able to drop yourself into your heart space for everybody here. And align yourself with the intention of show me what I need to see. And again, I just want to confirm that Nick's here. Otherwise, I'll literally like pick another person, which is totally cool. So there's a bit of a delay on the feed, so I just want to be able to make sure. But if anybody else here is like looking for a reading, because if Nick isn't here, we'll pick someone else from the chat, and then we'll do T. Marie. So if anybody else is like, if Nick's not here and you want to read, okay, Nick's ready. Okay, cool, sweet, perfect, awesome. Thanks, Nick. All right, so Nick, everyone here, join in. Send your energies towards this reading. Again, this is a collective reading. Thank you again, everybody, for joining in. Thanks for rocking it. Happy, what day are we on? Wednesday now. Show me what I need to see. That's right, Nick. All right. So, Nick, take a few breaths here. Drop yourself into your heart space. Allow yourself to be in that intention of show me what I need to see. And when you're ready, type now into the chat and we will pull the card through the magic of synchronicity. And yes, it is through this magic of synchronicity that we allow ourselves to collectively see what the cards may read for us so that we can continue to be the light guardians and the shifters that are here to change the ways, that are here to change the ways in which all of us continue to play within this game, to show up in these ways, to show others that it's okay, to feel the feels and to open your heart, to expand the mind through the power of our art. For we are shifters and light guardians of this land, and we will show others that now is the time to expand. There it is. There's the now from Nick. Here it comes. Splitting the deck. Quantum synchronistic moment right there. That's what happens. That's what happens when we split the deck there. So we allow the synchronicity to be able to unfold. So again, this is our first reading for tonight. Thank you again, everyone, so much. If you are here, this reading is for you. So this is like still like a free reading in the sense that we create value for the entire community through doing this as a team. So thank you for doing this as a team. So we're going to do this reading for Nick, and then the next reading will be for T. Marie, and then the next reading for that, again, will be for whoever signs up for the Patreon after that as part of the marathon. And if we can get like 5 Patreon signups, if we can get 10 Patreon signups tonight, super, super awesome. And I'll update the info on screen in the next minute. So here we go. Charging it up with the beauty of the Light Guardian Crystal. The first card that we have tonight for Nick is Flames 7, which I think is hilarious because, Nick, I don't know if you've been tuned into previous broadcasts. This card has shown up more than once in the broadcast that we have done here. And Nick, confirm for me that you haven't already like seen this card already, and otherwise, like, I'm totally open to pulling another card. But either way, I'm totally cool with being able to talk about this card because this card is definitely a card that is powerful for us to be able to hear. And again, like, that's the thing, like, even though this card has shown up before, that's like the universe being like, well, yes, that's because there's relevance to this card. That is because there is significance to this card to be able to receive it here. So gonna be able to do this reading here. And quick check-in. T. Marie, go ahead and leave a comment where you are in the chat so I can see you here. And I just want to be able to make sure that I know where I'm looking for when we do your reading. So sweet. All right, so we're gonna talk about this card here, the Flames 7, and I'm just gonna open this up from the book. And again, this is from the Ananda Tarot deck, and I'll show you the cover of the deck here. So this is the Ananda Tarot deck for those of you who have not seen this before. And again, so what we do here, I'm gonna read from the book. I'm gonna drop us into that energy. You're going to be able to open your heart, receive the inspiration, receive additional clarity and insight from this to assist you on your journey. And then I'm going to go a little bit deeper into this from my own personal intuitive insight and inspiration based on, like, again, this is practice for me. This is like practice, like being able to bring forth what messages are serving us in this moment. So T. Marie, I see you in the live chat. Thank you very much. So again, for those of you tuning in across multiple platforms, go ahead and sign up for the Patreon if you would like to be able to get the next reading on air, if you'd like to be able to jump the line. Otherwise, again, if you want to be able to get chosen right out of the chat, there's a possibility for that. But again, if you would like to be able to jump the line, go ahead and sign up for the Patreon. That helps support the broadcast that we are doing here for the community. I'm just going to update this real quick, and then I'm going to get right into doing this reading. So watch as I update the on-screen info here because, hey, that's a thing to be celebrated. And thank you, T. Marie, as your name is now added on screen to the newest Patreon supporters. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And again, let's work on getting at least 2 more Patreon signups. As long as there are new Patreon signups, like, that's cool with me, because then, like, I'll just keep doing it as long as the Patreon signups are there. And again, if you would like to be able to just, like, invite more people to tune into this broadcast, please feel free to share it. And if you would like a free reading after T. Marie, all you have to do is share this broadcast and drop a 333 in the chat. So let's do this. So Nick, for everybody, for all of you tuning in, Flames 7. Looking at what we got here, literally just like explaining the card visually. What do we got? So we've got this beautiful band of colors here underneath rising up from the bottom of the card. You can see like the night sky is kind of at the bottom of the card. There's stars there, and then there's like this wall, and then behind the wall there's like this valley with trees, and again you can see like the full spectrum, the full rainbow spectrum. You got like indigo, purple, blue, green, yellow, orange, red, all the chakra colors. The whole chakra gang's there. And yeah, it's like ascending up into the heaven. So let's read a little bit here of what the card Seven of Flames is about. So thank you again, everyone, so much for joining in. We'll keep an eye open for that next Patreon sign up. And yeah, let's bring forth the messages in this moment. So Nick, thank you for being here, and thank you everyone as well. Please feel free to keep sharing this broadcast. You guys are awesome. You children of the earth are awesome. I like to be more inclusive. All right. So just allowing you to listen, open your heart. Seven of Flames, the image. In front of the apparent obstacle of a wall that separates the cosmic from the earthly, the seven rays of the spectrum appear bundled into one. Meaning, events can bring about sudden change in life. Symbolically, quality of life takes on a new dimension. Perceptive abilities and the power of recognition experience growth. It is necessary to get a grip on situations and bring them under control, whereby one should remain true to their inner conviction. The real test is a positive attitude toward life. I'm going to reread that part. The real test is a positive attitude towards life. Insight should follow thought, and deeds should follow words. Yet, not only are the results of actions of great meaning, but also the manner in which they are carried out. I repeat that part. The manner in which they are carried out. So it's not just what you do, it's how you do it. Whatever is done should be done wholeheartedly. This situation requires that one bring forth the intensity of their whole being. A half-hearted attitude brings half-hearted results. Reread that part. A half-hearted attitude brings half-hearted results. The signs of the times push for action. In regard to the given circumstances, the choice of the right moment is very important. One should not try to force change. If one feels cornered, it would be meaningful to follow the inner urge for freedom. Challenges in the sense of provocation should not be avoided. An eventual retreat should not be viewed as flight, but as turning inward. Again, I'll reread that. An eventual retreat should not be viewed as flight, but as turning inward. Freedom develops inside, not outside. Astrological significance: Mars, Uranus, Saturn, septile aspects. Keywords: fearlessness, collected strength, liveliness, expansion of abilities, conflict resolution, surprises, rebellion, urge for freedom, looking ahead. Traditional meaning: bravery, battle, resistance, pride, rivalry, use of energy and strength, confrontations, threat, malevolence, overcoming obstacles. Awesome. So allow me to just get a sip here from my Spider-Man mug. So, beautiful, beautiful. So, Seven of Flames. Again, this card has a lot of significance to it. And this card is like a huge card for us to be able to like receive as light workers, for us to be able to like really reminded that like what we are here to do is to literally like bring in the full strength of who we are through our full spectrum, through all of our colors, and to be able to like really move forward with this sense of fearlessness. And with this idea that, again, you know, like the test here, the real test, as it says, is a positive attitude towards life. And how do we do that? How do we cultivate a positive attitude towards life? Well, I'll be able to tell you through my own experience, this positive attitude towards life comes from a higher understanding of how life even works. And so when we shift our paradigm from being able to understand that the universe is like this super intelligent, non-temporal simulator, circumstance, opportunity that is here to specifically evolve our consciousness, then we can move into a deeper place of trust that allows us to shift into this place of fearlessness, knowing that every single thing that is coming into us is allowing us to grow. Every single thing that we step into is there to help us expand. So it's kind of like that big shift that a lot of us have already gone through or experienced in many different ways. This idea of understanding it's not what happens, it's not just, the idea that it's happening to you, but it is happening for you. And the real test in this is a positive attitude towards life. So what if I could tell you that for every single person here, that everything is unfolding exactly as it should to be able to help to serve you in your highest growth. Understanding that the universe is not just here to make you happy, but it is here to expand your consciousness. How would you approach your obstacles in that situation? How would you perceive things? Would you perceive your obstacles as, oh no, like a challenge, I don't want to even approach this? Or would you be able to see it as, oh sweet, another opportunity to be able to level up and expand my abilities within this hyperdelic holographic game that we are playing together? This is something that can shift you from just kind of being able to like see things as just random circumstances unfolding, and to develop a much more in tune relationship with reality by understanding that even the surprises are a gift. Even the surprises are something that allow you to continue to ask yourself, how do I want to step into this? Do I want to step into this like kind of like timidly and just be like, I don't really want to do this, but this is what it is? Or can you be able to like move into each and every single situation with gratitude, with like a deep appreciation of understanding that the universe is like doing this to serve you, is doing this to bring you into more of who you are? And this is a big thing. This is a big thing that I'll say to you. And this took me a while to get. This took me a while to be able to understand like what like this actually meant. But basically, it's this idea that every single challenge is training for the next one. Every single opportunity is growth for preparing us for what is about to come. And so even for myself, I'll give you more context with this. The challenges aren't always just like things that just like happen to us randomly, but they're also challenges that we can create for ourselves. They're us going outside of our comfort zone. So this card is really, really like the key thing in this is really like inviting us to be able to like intentionally step outside of our comfort zone with courage. And so for Nick, I invite you to kind of like hear that this card is a call to action. This card is really encouraging you to practice the expansion of your abilities by being able to think like, like, what do I want to do? But what am I slightly scared of? And how can I acknowledge that fear as actually being where my growth is? Like, how can you actually acknowledge that, like, this is where you need to pay attention? This is where, like, it's weird. We as humans, we've conditioned ourselves to think that fear is something that we just completely want to avoid. Usually, wherever there is fear, there is growth. So for everyone here, I invite you to just kind of reflect and just be like, where is my fear? What am I scared of? What am I scared of doing? What is it that makes me uncomfortable? And how can I actually intentionally step into that, knowing that it's actually here to make me grow? Because it's not just the idea of just stepping into it, it's how you step into it. You might just be like, I guess I have to do this. Or you can show up and just be like, fuck yes, I am doing this. This is a challenge. This is here to help make me grow. This is here to grow my spiritual strength. This is here for me to see this, to test the abilities within myself, and to really be proud. And to really be proud, because what happens when there's something that you're scared of and you do it, and then you allow yourself to move through that fear, and then you move into courage. Like, that's like, I was listening to a story of a person the other day, and again, to give you more context, it was about like their son. They were being bullied at school, and their son was just like, Mom, I have to go back to school because I don't want to live in fear. And I know that the only way for me to not live in fear is by facing my fear and to rise above it, to be like alchemized through the process of being able to trust, to look ahead far enough to be able to see the end of the tunnel while you're still in it. And so for anyone who may be like in the midst of challenges, just change that, inviting you to change that little shift that's just like, this too is helping me grow. This too is helping me level up. This too is helping me expand. This too is helping me see my colors. This too is helping me see more of who I am. So again, it's like you go through this challenge, and then you give yourself this gift of just being like, wow, what I once was scared of is now something that I've accomplished. And now if something like that happens again, not only will I not be like as fearful of it, but I'll also be able to share that inspiration with others, because there are always going to be people who are moving through things with that degree of uncertainty, and they need people like you to be able to demonstrate through your own actions a deep degree of trust in knowing that the universe is here to serve you, in knowing that the universe is here out of a deep service to be able to help evolve your consciousness, and knowing that every single thing on your path is actually, again, like a part of something that you've chosen for yourself. It is a part of your contract. It is a part of your divine path, your dharma, something that is here to serve you. So again, the key things in this: battle, pride, rivalry, use of energy. And again, like the ideas of like confrontation, that's like within the traditional meaning of this, but the confrontation is more of like an inner confrontation. So acknowledge the parts of ourselves that make us uncomfortable, and then to see those as the edges of our growth, to see like at the edge of our growth, because that's where we want to push. That's actually where we want to expand into. And I acknowledge you for doing that. I acknowledge you for having the courage to be able to do things that maybe you're a little bit scared of, but for you to be able to give yourself the gift of freedom in doing them, in experiencing what it's like to move through them. And the victory comes simply when you show up. The victory comes simply in you having the courage. Like, it's not whether you win or lose. Like, you win. You always win. And how much of that winning you receive is, again, based on your attitude. Like, your attitude becomes your altitude. So can you do that? Can you show up to like the challenging circumstances with as much courage as possible, with as much inspiration as possible, with as much love as possible? And again, that may be the things where it's just like, hey, okay, this is like a new type of art that I need to experiment with, and I've never really done this before, but I'm going to do it anyways, and I'm going to put myself out there, and I'm going to share my intentions, and I'm going to share my vibes, and I hope people are going to get the feedback from this and give me feedback. But then you learn, but then you grow, and then you start getting better at making your art, and then you start building momentum, then you start building more confidence. And again, and the other challenges, it could even show up in the form of heartbreak. Like, seriously, for anyone here who may be going through some form of heartbreak, can you too see your heartbreak as a chance for you to open up into more of who you are? I've said this before, but again, the heart doesn't break, it only breaks open. Can you actually see, can you literally do that? Can you look at any situation and just be like, that's a catalyst. That's a catalyst for transformation. That's a catalyst to serve me. That's a catalyst for my growth. That's a catalyst to move me into more of who I am, to awaken me into more of my strength. So in the same way we go to the gym, we flex our muscles, we work out our muscles. What's actually happening when we go to the gym? A lot of people don't even really like acknowledge this. When we go to the gym, we're actually tearing our muscles. We're tearing like the tissue open, and then new like proteins fill those gaps where the tears occur, and that builds the strength. So you've heard this before, that the crack is where the light shines through. So we want to be able to see those challenges, move into them with a deep sense of trust, a deep sense of understanding, a deep sense of knowing, a deep sense of courage, and to open ourselves up through the slight discomfort of doing something that we're not used to doing. But in doing so, we become the full spectrum. We awaken to the rainbow body that we are. We merge into more of like who we are here to be, our 5D consciousness level. So again, the real test is a positive attitude towards life. So Nick, I invite you, everyone here, to really be able to just acknowledge your positive attitude towards life and to practice cultivating that. And for me to just tell you on behalf of the universe that yes, this universe is much more than it appears to be, and it is here to serve you. Like, I can say that with certainty, that every single thing that is coming into your path is here to serve you. And when you see those challenges, and when you even like go out of your way to look for challenges, that accelerates. The universe loves courage, and it honors that. And then like, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, yeah, it gets harder, but you do it every day, and then it gets easier type thing. So this is a super, super powerful card that, again, I think is very symbolic for a lot of us light workers, light guardians, moving into this new dimension of being, by being able to bring in the higher wisdom of understanding that the whole story that is unfolding before us is here to serve us, to move through it with courage, to move into it with a sense of like radical non-worriness in a sense, and to see it as a catalyst, as launching us into our flames, to see the ability for us to be able to shine more of our light. And so that is this, to be the 5 of flames, to ignite our colors, to ignite our true potential, to ignite who we are here to be. And how do we do that? Through the challenges and the circumstances and the opportunities that are going to help us expand. And the only way we can truly expand is by going into situations that are outside of that comfort zone. If you just stay in this comfort zone, you become stagnant. You go outside the comfort zone, you grow. And don't just wait for the challenges to come, make the challenges for yourself. Wake up in the morning, go exercise, practice meditating, practice journaling, change your diet, practice like just being able to get into that positive mindset more often. Practice being able to like do things that you wouldn't normally do. Practice like going out dancing in a place that you've never gone dancing before. It can be fun. Like that's the thing. It doesn't have to be this challenge where it's like, oh my God, this is scary, but it can be exciting scary. Like go up and imagine like doing a talk on stage. That's freaking scary. You get butterflies and things like that. But by the time you do it, you're just like, whoa, I am so freaking proud of myself. And so this card, as we wrap up this reading here, I really invite this card to be able to be an opportunity for you to see yourself and to be proud. To be proud of not just the challenges that are still before you, that you are still here to overcome, but the challenges that you have gone through that have continued to allow you to become more of your full spectrum. And to really honor that. So before you even jump into what's ahead of you, honor where you are now. And just be like, for everyone here, just honor and just be like, I honor myself for showing up to the challenges with intention, with purpose. And I honor the challenges themselves. Can you literally just be like, universe, thank you. Thank you for those delicious challenges. Thank you for those challenges that made me just kind of like see things differently. That allowed me to see more of myself. That allowed me to be able to like see things in a new way, to shift my paradigm, to expand my perception, to connect with more of my heart, to connect with more of my very essence of who I am. So again, bravery, courage, rising as light workers, light warriors, light guardians. This universe is here to serve you. It is here to expand your consciousness. Honor that process. Know this is a process. Trust this. And I challenge you to adopt this. I challenge you to this challenge. Any situation that comes along your path, I challenge you to just be able to meet it with gratitude. Meet it with gratitude, whatever that challenge may be. It doesn't mean you have to be totally happy, but can you still meet something with gratitude and understanding by the time you get through it, it's going to serve you. It's going to open you. It's going to expand your heart. It's going to help you connect to yourself in new ways. So yeah, Nick, this is a super powerful card, and again, this card goes out for everyone. So Nick, go ahead, let us know, how did this resonate with you, Nick? If it does resonate, leave a comment in the chat, let us know. And for those of you who are listening to this broadcast, again, drop an 1111 in the chat and let us know if this resonated for you. If there's just something here that's just like, yes, thank you, universe, for that valuable reminder of reminding myself that everything is here to be able to help assist me in my growth. And this universe does love me. Again, like that's like the big shift. It's like the universe isn't just here to make you happy. It's here to expand your consciousness. If you think that the universe is just here to make you happy, I'm sorry, but you will be disappointed because you have an expectation. But when you understand that that expectation can be that the universe is here to serve me, then you can allow yourself to like move through things, even in the spaces when you might not even be quote unquote happy, but you can still just be like, I am grateful even for the depths of this sadness, for this emotion, to feel myself on such a deep level. Like seriously, that's a big game changer. When you can actually be grateful to be able to experience a depth of sadness that comes from a challenge that we all go through as human, because it is in that depths of the sadness that is like where we like meet like the edge of God. When we're in that emotional place where you can feel so deeply and you're just like, oh my God, like this is such a meaningful experience. So can you even in the depths of sadness, can you still hold gratitude for that? knowing how it is serving you on the bigger picture. So again, seeing this card calling you into bravery, calling you into courage. Nick, go ahead, leave a comment in the chat. Let us know how that resonated with you. And thank you again, everyone, so much. And go ahead and drop an 1111 if that resonated with you as well. So thank you, Nick, for being the person for us to do the first reading for tonight. And thank you again for those of you tuning in across multiple channels. Thank you to Entity of Light, Tarot by Lee. Thank you to Christina. Thank you to Hola K. And T. Marie, our first Patreon supporter of the night. And everybody else on the other channels. We got Lou, we got Sanjay, and Sarah. And anybody else, we got people, we got Medusa, we got Ao Gajic, and Maverick, Marca Valley, tuning in on Instagram and all across the network. So Nick, go ahead. We'll keep an eye open for your comment in the chat and just be able to relay that to be able to share a little bit of how that card resonated with you. And so yeah, we'll take a quick intermission here as we get ready to do the next reading. And T. Marie, let me know if you're ready in the chat, and we'll be able to do that reading there for you. So thank you again, everyone. Oh, here it is. Okay. Here's Nick's comment. So Nick says, I know exactly what I need to get, and I'm getting to it right now. The moon got me thinking different, and now this card makes me push for it. Awesome. Awesome, Nick. Perfect. And dude, you know what? Like, for what it's worth, like, I am fully like in support of just like you doing it. And I send you that, like, I am in the crowd cheering you on and just being like, yes, brother, do this. And do this with the courage being like a shared momentum. Like, let my courage be your courage. Like, I've gone through enough experiences to be able to know that, like, yes, the universe does work this way for us to be able, where it honors us going into those challenges. And those challenges could be like a new business. It could be like healing from a relationship. It could be like moving to a new place. It could be like having a challenging conversation. It could be going outside of our comfort zone. It could be creating new art. It's all relative. But again, as much as the universe on the bigger scale honors it, I honor it too. And I see that in you, Nick. And I appreciate you doing the work. And again, I say that to everyone. I appreciate every single person doing the work. We need that. We need more people to be able to have that positive attitude. And the other thing, I'll just say this real quick. The other thing with this card is that this card, again, reminds us that an eventual retreat should not be viewed as flight, but as turning inward. Freedom develops inside, not outside. So with anything that I've said, before you just like rush into that next thing, like the flame, and just be like, fire. Instead, bring it into the heart space, bring it into the meditation, bring it into the reflection. Really allow yourself to kind of like see things from that higher perspective before you jump right into things. Feel things out, connect with the heart, allow yourself to honor at any point that practice and that purpose of just kind of bringing it back to center. And then you move through it like Neo from the Matrix, right? You're just kind of like, the Agent Smith is like throwing punches at you. Like, you think about it, the Agent Smith was the catalyst for Neo, right? So Agent Smith is like the metaphor for the challenges in our life. And then the challenges come at us, but if we're like Neo, where we're centered, the challenges come at us and we're just like, and you're just in like this like kung flow where everything comes at you and you use the energy. Like, that's the thing. If like a challenge that comes at you is like a wave of energy, and it will either just like hit you, and if you're not ready to receive it, it'll be like boom, and it'll just be like, oh, and it knocks you on your cosmic ass, right? But if you're like in a kung flow, the energy comes and you like use it, and it like redirects, and it actually propels you. So the challenges, you can actually like, again, see them as catalysts and just be like, yes. If you're being challenged, then there is like, that is like actually the universe like being like, sweet, here's like another opportunity for you to be able to level up. And within that challenge, you still find flow. So allow yourself to move through the challenges with flow. And that's a practice, right? And the only way you can do this is by moving through challenges. Like, how great would that be to know that like any challenge you do, you can move through it like Neo from the Matrix. But the only way to learn how to do that is by knowing how to be able to see the challenges before you and to meet them with gratitude and a positive attitude. So awesome. And then the other thing here, challenges in the sense of provocation should be avoided. So the challenges here, it's also saying like, don't just challenge things for the sake of like creating, don't just stir shit up. Like, that's what this card is basically saying. Like, don't just go out of your way to like, oh, I'm going to challenge someone else's belief or challenge someone's opinion or say something to someone that's going to challenge them. Don't do that. That should be avoided. do the challenges that are going to help you grow, and create those challenges for yourself. Incubate that growth for yourself. Awesome. So Nick says, I appreciate you, with the heart sign. So Nick, thank you again so much for being here, for being a part of the broadcast. Awesome. So let me know, for anybody else in the live chat, how did that reading resonate with you? Go ahead and drop an 1111 in the live chat if that resonated with you. And thank you so much, Judy. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, we were doing some tarot readings here tonight as part of Waking Up with Wolf, or sorry, Waking Up with Wolf, doing live tarot readings with Wolf. And we're doing a little bit of a marathon here, so we're going to keep doing readings as new Patreon supporters sign up, and we're going to be doing our next reading for Team Marie in a second. And for anybody else who would like to be able to get a next reading done right after Team Marie, go ahead and sign up for the Patreon. It only takes about 3 minutes to be able to sign up. And when you sign up on there, you can also get other awesome perks, such as 25% discount at the Quest item shop. And also, Nick, if you need a picture of this, Nick, send me a message on Instagram if you're on Instagram. And you can just like do, and I can send you a picture. I can send you a picture of the card reading. If anybody else wants a picture of the card reading, message me on my Instagram or on my Facebook as well, and I can send you a picture there. So Nick, if you're not already on my Instagram, again, Instagram Mystic Spider-Man, you can see that in the top corner there. So awesome. So Judy, if you would like to be able to get a reading, they are available to people who sign up for the Patreon. And you can do that by going to patreon.com/Brendan Culleton, and you can find more information about what I do there. So again, we're just going to take a little bit of a break here as I just kind of allow myself to just take a quick breath. And Team Marie, let us know if you're ready for your reading, and we'll get into your next reading. And then again, for the person who would like another reading on air, go ahead. And what we'll do, like, so I'm okay doing like one more reading for like just straight out of the chat. So if anybody here like wants a reading, drop a 333 into the chat wherever you are on whatever channel, because I just want to be able to get a feed. I want to see like how many people here are looking for just a reading on air. So if you would like to be able to like be eligible for a free reading on air, just drop a 333 in the chat, and then I'll be able to see that. But again, if you want to be able to jump the line, but also like help support us in our marathon tonight by signing up for the Patreon, go ahead and let me know in the comment. Just be like, yo, I'm signing up for the Patreon. It's only going to take a couple minutes, and you'll be the next person after we do this next reading for Team Marie. So I'm just keeping an eye on people to see how many 333s we got. So I think we got Ellie, Judy, thank you so much. We got Human Tukata Plady. Thank you so much. Garrett, Chris, thank you as well for leaving your comments. So if you would like a reading in the chat, again, if you haven't already yet, please feel free to share this broadcast. So like that's part of the instructions. Share this broadcast, drop a 333, and hang out, chill out, get yourself some tea. And thank you again, everyone, for just being here. And so we're going to do the reading for Team Marie in the next moment. And we'll keep an eye open. So again, if inviting anybody here who would like to be able to jump the line to be able to sign up for the Patreon. We got one Patreon sign up tonight, and we're working on 3 total. And if we can get 5, that's a huge bonus. And you can sign up on the Patreon for a pay what you wish. So again, for those of you who may not be entirely familiar, my name is Brendan. I'm a conscious media creator. I've been creating conscious media for over 10 years. And I'm like an award-winning Canadian filmmaker. It's like what I went to school for. It's what I'm trained in. And now I use my skills to be able to help create like inspirational broadcasts and content to inspire people to help make a difference in the world. And you can find out more info of that at the patreon.com/Brendan Culleton. The info is on the screen here. And also, when you sign up for the Patreon, you can also get a super beautiful Light Guardian crystal. So just showing you the Light Guardian crystals here. So go ahead, let me know if you see the Light Guardian crystal there and you think it's pretty awesome. Just be like, ooh, drop some comments in the chat. What do these remind you of when you see the Light Guardian crystals? Go ahead, just leave a comment here, just engaging. What do these remind you of? So like a lot of people will be like, yo, like that reminds me of like ancient Atlantean technology in a lot of ways. So again, these Light Guardian crystals, I hand make these. These are all handmade, and they are available for a pay what you wish price once people sign up on the Patreon. So again, how much does it cost to be able to get one of these? As much as you wish to pay once you sign up for the Patreon. And again, the Patreon is on screen there. So as we do this broadcast, as part of like a marathon, we're also raising support for the Patreon, which supports us in being able to help do these broadcasts for the community to provide value. So if you really honor the value that we are creating here as a community, and it's much more than just like this broadcast alone, then go ahead and add your support on the Patreon. And thank you again to Team Marie who added their support. So we'll keep an eye open for the next person to be able to sign up for the Patreon. That's awesome. Christina says it reminds me of a butterfly cocoon. I love that. I've never heard that before. Christina, that's so cool. Absolutely. So again, with these are super cool and super affordable. So there's this is a super awesome deal in value that we are creating here as a community. So again, if you would like a reading on air or private, like this is the other cool thing is that you can sign up for the Patreon, and if you want to just be like, hey, I want to do it private, let me know, because the private readings we can go deeper. Like we can like get into like some like more discussion, because it would be like a video chat that we do with the private reading. And so again, sign up for the Patreon for as much as you wish to pay. It can be like the minimum of $3, $5, and if you sign up for $11, you can also get Lumerian. And I'll just show you real quick. Here's what some of the Lumerian Light Guardian crystals look like. So these are like the higher tier Lumerian crystals. So the cut on these ones are like super cool. And these things, like the Lumerian ones, are like worth, like these can sell at like between like $60 and $100. And again, so you could sign up on the Patreon for like for the $11 you can get the Lumerian, and then you could literally pay like $1 to be able to like get the Lumerian and have it. And then you also got the discount for the item shop when you sign up. You get a 25% discount. And when you sign up, I'll also put in some shift buttons. And so the shift buttons are super awesome tools that I've created for the community to be able to help use to accelerate the shift. So here's some shift buttons. You can see here, this has got like the flower of life on it. Here's a Triforce, which is like from Zelda. Not everyone's gonna know that. And here's, what's this symbol? Quick, leave a comment in the chat. What is this symbol, if you know what this is? And so again, these are meant to be worn, shared. And when you wear them, people will like come up to you and be like, yo, I really like your button. And then it sparks synchronicity. And each button has Paradigm Shift Central written on the website on the rim. And you give those to someone and it opens them up. It's like a holographic disc. It's like a CD. It takes them to the website, connects them with the community, invites them to be a part of the bigger story. And it just like helps like plant some powerful seeds and for you to build community where you are. So that's right, Anya, that's right. This is indeed the Ankh, which is again like a symbol for like regenerative immortality and vitality, which is super cool. And I'll just show you a couple other ones. Here's like one that says ask me about reincarnation. So some of them are like very literal in that sense. And does anybody know what this symbol is? A quick quiz on that. What is this symbol? Go ahead, leave a comment in the chat. So there you go. I'll put in a few of those for anybody signing up for the Patreon. Let's get a few more Patreons signed up during this broadcast, as that is the intention here, to provide value for the community, to be able to invite people to support on the Patreon, and to hang out and to be able to provide inspiration, clarity, insight, and to grow as a team. So if you haven't already, we're gonna get into the next reading for Team Marie, and we're also going to be able to keep an eye open for the next person signing up on the Patreon. So if you would like to be able to jump the line and be the next person to get a reading on air, go ahead and sign up for the Patreon, and you can check out more information there about the Light Guardian crystals and the shift buttons, and also more of the Paradigm Shift Central project, which is again like a project that I've been facilitating for 10 years that's about building a global team of shifters and light guardians. And your support through the Patreon helps support that, which is including like also the other awesome epic broadcasts that we do. And if you sign up at the $11, you can also join into our private membership, which is like where we work alongside with other conscious media creators, and you can join in the live broadcast, and you can join our private team chat as well, and you can work alongside me as like a conscious media creator. So if you're like thinking about creating YouTubes or video content or anything like that, or written content, and you want to work alongside me, definitely consider becoming an $11 Patreon supporter. And also you'll get your Lumerian Light Guardian Crystal option, and also the option for you to become a leading member as well, which is we refer to as our private membership. So let's get into this next reading here for Team Marie. And again, thank you so much everyone for joining in. Again, if you're here, this reading is for you. So awesome. Thank you. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Elise. Thank you so much for joining in. And good morning for those of you tuning in, wherever you are. So the Egyptian symbol for life, the Siri, the Ankh, and yes, some of you already typed in the yantra, the Siri yantra, for that previous symbol that we showed. So that's good. So again, if you saw someone with that button, imagine if you just saw them and you're just like, yo, like that's definitely, oh, Siri. Siri's like listening to the conversation here. It's like, oh, what's that? You want me to like look up information about the Siri yantra for you? Thanks, Siri. Appreciate it. Cool. Okay. Sweet. All right, let's get into this next reading here. So we'll do another reading here for T. Marie, and then the next reading will be for the next person who signs up for the Patreon. So let's get a few more Patreon signups. Thank you again, everyone, for joining in. Thank you again, Nick, for being our first reading of the night, and thank you to T. Marie for being our first Patreon supporter for the night. So if you'd like more information on that, please feel free to just ask me questions, and let's get into this next reading. And again, thank you to those of you tuning in on Instagram as well. If you're tuned in on Instagram, go ahead and jump up to my Instagram stories and swipe up to tune in on YouTube. Sweet. All right, so T. Marie, go ahead and just drop a comment into the chat. Thank you again, just to confirm that you're ready, and we'll get right into this next reading for you. Awesome. Thank you so much, Soshi. Thank you so much. Sorry, I probably pronounced that wrong. Thanks for joining in. Waving at you. Waving at everybody here. All right. So if you haven't already yet, please feel free to share this broadcast, be able to invite more people to join in, and to be able to receive the inspiration that we cultivate here as a team. And we'll get into this next reading here for T. Marie. I actually have a new deck. I have a new deck tonight, which I want to maybe use during this broadcast. I don't know. I haven't fully tapped into it. It's not a tarot deck. It's more of like an oracle deck. But if you guys are interested in that, I can show it to you later. So, awesome. All right, so T. Marie, go ahead. Just comment in the chat. Let me know that you're ready. Thank you again for your patience, and for everybody here just hanging out. And we'll get into that next reading. And for everybody here, just go ahead. Leave a comment. Where are you located? Just for everybody here, I'd love to just like give some shout outs and get a better idea of where everyone's tuned in from. So if you haven't already yet, please feel free to share this broadcast. And if there is no other new Patreon supporter after this reading, then we'll pull a reading from the chat. And to be eligible for that reading from the chat, all you have to do is share this broadcast and hang tight. Awesome. Thank you again to those of you on Twitch as well. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and check my links on my bio. Angia Silvermane, thank you so much for joining in if you're still here. All right, so we got people tuned in from Sacramento. We got people from Washington State. Keeping an eye on other people leaving comments where they are. We got people tuned in from Florida. Awesome. I am in. Does anybody want to guess where I am? Go ahead, guess where I am. Maybe you can tell by my incredibly thick accent. I don't know. I don't even think I have an accent. Some people are like, "Oh my god, your accent." And I'm like, "What? Is it just because I say bagels weird?" I don't know. Apparently, there's like certain words that us. Well, I don't want to spoil it. Does anybody know where? Does anybody know where we're located? Go ahead and guess if you want. All right. Thank you, Joy. Thank you so much. Glad you were able to join. Wishing you an awesome day. And Tina is ready for the next reading. All right, so let's do this next reading for Tina. And for anybody here, if you're in the process of signing up for the Patreon, just leave a comment. Just be like, yo, I'm signing up for the Patreon right now. Again, it only takes about 3 minutes to sign up. Our objective is to get 3 new Patreon signups during this broadcast. Awesome. Sweet. Oh, we got someone else in... Wait, I don't know if people are if people are leaving comments from where they are, if they're guessing where I am. But we got people leaving comments for Mount Rose, Minnesota, Nebraska, Toronto, Minnesota, London. So yeah, I think some. Oh, Philo gets it right. Philo asks, broadcasting from Nibiru. That is absolutely right. I am broadcasting from a planet far, far away. Actually, I was just like, yeah, we were broadcasting from the center of the Andromeda Nebula. Welcome to Totally Real Woke News. That's actually going to be a segment I'm going to be doing tomorrow. Hey, did you guys know Saturn's going direct? That's huge news. That's like super, super exciting news. Awesome. Rugulicious, thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate you being here in the Twitch chat. I know the Twitch chat's a little bit quiet, but hey, at least the synchronicities are still unfolding in the Twitch chat. Please feel free to jump over to the YouTube if you want. I'll post a link real quick for the YouTube chat. Let me just grab that real quick. If you want to jump over to the YouTube, go for it. All right, okay, sweet. We're gonna do this reading for T Marie. Thank you again, T Marie, for signing up on the Patreon. We got about like 20 people tuned in across multiple broadcast networks, so let's keep rolling along here. And again, we'll keep an eye open for that next Patreon supporter. So as we're doing this reading, if you would like to be the next person for us to do a reading for, if you would like to jump the line, then go ahead and sign up for the Patreon. It only takes about 3 minutes. That can be a donation of your choice, a monthly donation. Donations don't even process till October, so you wouldn't even be like paying anything right up front, but you're definitely just like getting your like profile information signed up. And yeah, super appreciate it. And again, you also get the option to be able to get a light guardian crystal. Sushi says, you sound like you're in the 9. Sounds like you're in the 9. For a second, I thought that was like grade 9. Do I sound like I'm in grade 9? I don't know. Dude, I probably sounded so funny in grade 9, like before my voice dropped and stuff like that.
Hey guys, this is Brendan. I'm in grade 9. Let's go hang out and play Pokemon.
That's exactly what I sounded like. Sounded like Cartman almost. So,
howdy ho! This is Brendan back in grade 9.
I don't know. Like, should I just do all my readings in weird voices? Morgan Freeman here. All right, T Marie, let's do this. Thank you again for your patience. No, I am not the glass blower. Paradigm shift is someone asking in the Twitch. Glass blowing is awesome. All right, T Marie. Everyone here, inviting you to drop into the heart space. Let's get right into this next reading and let's see. Are you ready to see what the universe has in store for us? What cosmic messages are coming through in this moment? So T Marie, drop into your heart space. Everybody here, just take a few breaths. For those of you, wherever you are, just be able to allow yourself to like be in that space, to open your heart. Unreal Films just leaving a comment there saying that they are signing up for the Patreon. Awesome. Thank you so much. And again, if you want a private reading, that's totally cool. And yeah, super appreciate it. All right, let's get right into this reading. Honestly, again, you guys can keep me up all night. This show can keep going. As long as there's Patreon signups going, this is a marathon. I'm okay. We'll just do this 24 hours. 24-hour tarot reading. That sounds fun. Let's do it. All right. T Marie, dropping you into the heart space. Everybody here, take a few breaths here. Collectively, allow ourselves to like focus our intentions of show me what I need to see. Awesome. So I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about with the 9s, but I'll check that out later. You can send me a DM on that if there's more info. All right. So T Marie, thank you again for your support on the Patreon. For everybody here, thank you again for just being here, for holding space, for just like doing the work that we're all doing together. Drop into that intention of show me what I need to see. When you're ready, T Marie, take a few breaths here and type now into the chat and we'll pull the card for you. Bringing down the rains of love from the cosmic spaces above. My friends, we are here to dance with one another in all the ways we can, to show each other across the land the joy that has always been, the reality that is unfolding within the spaces that dance between the atoms of our very heart, unfolding to remind us of where this really all takes part. It takes part within the mind, within the game that we are here to play and expand into. My goodness, let's keep rolling through. And there's the now from T Marie. The synchronicity is unfolding in this moment, live on air, as we witness the synchronicity. And the card is pulled. And I'll charge it up with the Light Guardian Crystal. And again, I'll explain to you in a second. So with the way tarot works, I hope that by doing this broadcast, some of you are just like, maybe I want to get into tarot. Like maybe I want to be able to like do some tarot reading as well and stuff like that. When we do this intention setting, even just show me what I need to see, it creates this quantum space where we allow ourselves to like pull that right card in the right moment. And it's very fascinating. So charging up this crystal, charging up this card with the Light Guardian Crystal, just kind of blessing it. Bless. Thank you, universe, for showing us this message. Pew, 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 pew. And the card that we pulled for T Marie is Swords 10. And again, this is This, man, it's weird. This is interesting because this card has shown up like not too long ago as well. So there's been like a few cards that keep showing up, which I'm totally fine with, because again, like, I'm not gonna like say what the universe doesn't want to come through. And T Marie, just confirm with me, like, have you seen this card before? Have you seen me literally do a reading for this card before? And if not, then confirm with me that we want to like delve into this. It's a good card. It's a good card to be able to receive. There's a lot of stuff just to be able to like reflect on through the discussion of it. So awesome. All right. So T Marie, confirm for me that you are ready to go through with this reading. And for everybody here, just thank you so much for hanging out. And so again, we're going to do this reading for T Marie, and then the next reading will be for the next person who signs up for the Patreon, which will possibly be Unreal Films. And yeah, and then we'll do the next reading for either the next person who signs up, and we'll just keep hanging out. And thank you again, everyone, for being here. Sweet. All right, T Marie, this is your first time hanging in with the broadcast. T Marie, thank you so much for jumping in on the Patreon. Super grateful to be able to have you here. And again, for everybody here, if it is your first time, be sure to just like subscribe on any channel, and you can also explore more at paradigmshiftcentral.com, and you can check that out afterwards. There's a lot of awesome content, millions of hours online already. All right, 10 of Swords. What do we got here? So looking at the 10 of Swords here, literally in this image, as I just pointed out to you, and then we'll get into the reading from the book, we've got these like 10 swords up above the sky, kind of pointing in different directions, crossing over one another, high above the landscape of the earth, shining down, or just like rising above, kind of floating, maybe ascending. And you can see the atmosphere of the earth down below, like this beautiful haze and shimmer, this rich like blue of the surface, and the stars up above, and some clouds there. And the swords are kind of like semi-transparent, again, kind of like pointing in multiple directions. So we'll read here from the book, and then we'll go deeper into the intuitive reflection as I channel forth the information here. Awesome. Sushi, is that your name? Is that why I'm pronouncing it? It says, you're like a Jedi Merlin. Thank you so much for picking up on that vibe, because that's exactly what I do. No, I'm basically like a Jedi Merlin. That's a great way of explaining what I do. Live tarot readings with Jedi Merlin. aka Mystic Spider-Man, aka Skull Babylon, aka Wolf Shield. Alright, T Marie, thank you again. Awesome. So, let's get right into this. Listen closely. And just open your heart to be able to receive the message. Again, this isn't just me saying stuff. This is the universe. This is you speaking to yourself. So thank you for receiving. You're doing great. 10 of Swords. The image. In the infinite distance of the cosmos, 10 swords appear to transform themselves into chaos above a bottomless world. Meaning, similarly to the 10 of Flames, here in the 10 of Swords, a common trait of the sequence of 10 is reached, a climactic high point at which no further improvement is possible. This means that the highest degree of consciousness is attainable, but it also means that something is being brought to an end. Human understanding tends to judge presumptuously. Every judgment that is made should be borne by the consciousness that one is his own final judge. I'm going to reread that. Every judgment that is made should be borne by the consciousness that one is his own final judge. Consequently, this means that man is responsible for his own thinking and also for his own actions. What is brought into the world as judgment originated as prejudice in thoughts. The situation requires considering all eventualities in order to be able to arrive at a concrete result. All mental abilities should be used, as the situation requires thinking in larger parameters. I'm going to reread that. All mental abilities should be used, as the situation requires thinking in larger parameters. The consciousness of the whole should not be lost sight of. It is necessary to observe all possibilities in order to arrive at the final realization that precipitates a wise decision. Too much mental activity, however, would mean that the emotional world is getting colder, indicating a loss of compassion and human warmth. Therefore, it is worth recommending letting the mind come to rest and letting thoughts stand still. Good, reread that part. Therefore, it is worth recommending letting the mind come to rest and letting thoughts stand still. In the Asian way of thought, the mind is often compared to a monkey that jumps restlessly from branch to branch. The mind, with its endless thoughts, however, is only restless until it finds its center, which is peace. The original state of the mind is pure being. All of its movements follow the goal of returning back to this state. Astrological significance: Mercury, Saturn, conjunction, and opposition aspects. Keywords: mind, thinking ahead, inner orientation, becoming conscious, holistic thought, inspiration, knowledge, realistic self-assessment, disillusionment, reality check, meditation. Traditional meaning: realization, clarity, understanding, logic, reason, stillness, closure. Awesome. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you, Sushi. I see your comments there. Beautiful, beautiful. Awesome. So, getting into what this card is really speaking to us about. Like, again, whenever we get to the cards that are like related to 10, it's often this idea of, again, kind of like observing where we are on a precipice as we're about to like move into a new chapter, and making sure that we do the work to really be able to reflect on how this past chapter has really served us before we take that next step into what's coming. And this card, I think, is super relative to be able to receive now, especially considering that Saturn is about to go direct. So with Saturn going to direct, this is a time where, like, over the past few weeks, maybe even the past like several months, maybe you've kind of been in a transition period. Maybe you've kind of been like taking care of loose ends. Maybe relationships have been coming to an end, but there's something new that's like literally about to start picking up on the horizon. And the best way to be able to honor that next thing that's coming is to be able to sit with ourselves in stillness, to be able to reflect on what has already happened. Some of the best questions that we can ask ourselves, and this is something that I grew up doing, is to ask ourselves, where have we been? Who are we now? Or where have we been? What have we done? And who are we now? With this idea that every single thing that happens to us changes us, but not necessarily like in a bad way, but in a productive way, in this way that is constantly moving us into more of who we are, similar to the Flames 7 that we were talking about before. And so like this card is really being able to invite us to get ready for the next chapter of our being by using the swords of the mind to be able to extract as much lesson as we can from that past chapter. So for Marie, I really invite you to just be able to like reflect, to feel, and just be like, okay, like what new chapters am I about to get into? Is there a new job? Is there a new relationship? Is school starting to pick up? Whatever there may be. Am I moving somewhere? Something like that. There's always like kind of like new things always happening. So it's like, again, this is kind of like general, but it's relative. But how often do we just like jump into that next thing and just be like, okay, like here we go. And then suddenly something similar happens that we've already experienced. A lesson recurs again. Something comes up and we're just like, wait a second. Like, I thought I already dealt with this. I thought like this is a weird thing because this is like very similar to something I already experienced. If that's the case, if you've observed this before, usually that happens because before that chapter began, we didn't fully extract the lessons from the past. We didn't fully take the time to be able to reflect, to think into our inner orientation, and to be able to become more conscious of what those past experiences have brought into our reality, have served us. So you look back to the past, and again, kind of with the mindset of the 7 of Flames, so you can kind of combine these, is to be able to be like, okay, like how did those challenges help me grow? What did I learn from that? How did I expand? Did I become more grateful? Did I become more in tune with myself? Am I more fearless? Am I more like aware of my abilities? How has it shifted my relationships? How can I navigate relationships with an even like more holistic approach where it's less about thinking, oh, what can I get? And more about what can I give? So these are just like a couple of examples. But again, this card is really acknowledging that as that next chapter is about to begin, the most valuable thing that we can do without even fully knowing what that chapter is going to bring us is to take the time to reflect on where we have gotten to based on the lessons that have unfolded up to this point. Up to this point within the last couple months, within the last year, and to really, again, be able to acknowledge from like a place of like honoring the work that you have done. So for everybody here, when was the last time that you really did that? Sometimes we just get so focused on like doing that next thing. We're just like tasks every single day. We're just like, oh, we just gotta do this. We're just surviving, but we're not really thriving. But the thriving comes from a place of gratitude. The thriving comes by celebrating where we have been and what we have gone through and what we are propelling ourselves into. To be able to acknowledge like our goals of where we want to be thinking ahead. So like even this card, it's kind of like, it's like, oh, in order to really be able to get ahead, you have to look backwards too. And you look backwards by being in the present. So like this is like one of the beautiful things about, I don't know if anybody's realized this, like maybe I'm the only one, but as a hyperdimensional being, we are already time travelers. I'm joking. I know you've realized this, but we are already time travelers in the sense that like from our mind, from the stillness, we have the ability to think backwards and to think forwards and to be able to bring the future and the past into the present moment, to be able to fold them in on themselves. And this is like a beautiful thing is like this idea is so powerful, and I'm so happy to be able to share this with everybody here because I think seriously it's such a game changer. But it's basically this idea of understanding that like what you're working on manifesting in the future already exists once you get clear on like what it is that you're working on manifesting. So say for example, it's like it could be very specific. It's like I want that next relationship that's really going to serve me. And I want that next job that's really going to be something I'm like excited to do. Or I want that like new house that's really going to be like home for my soul. Your job, in order to be able to attract any of those things, in addition to like putting in the work and going out there and going outside of your comfort zone, is to simply do the inner work. Because it's not just about chasing something. It's about shifting your vibration so it aligns with that reality. And then it becomes like this magnetism where you feel yourself being guided to this future with the understanding that it's already there. So a lot of people move through this reality where we just kind of like this is how society teaches us. They think it's like this fog, and we can't even see 1 minute ahead of ourselves. We're just constantly kind of like moving through. The higher conscious mind, which is again what all this card is about, like the swords are the mind, the higher conscious, the 10, the completion. It's all about like being able to see the bigger picture and being able to feel the future, know that it's there. And again, you can almost think of it this way. Think about like you have like this lasso, like this golden lasso, like you're Wonder Woman or something like that. This is like a special cosmic lasso, and you know what you want. And even if you're not fully clear, the clarity can come as you go, but you're just like, I want to feel whole. I want to feel excited. I want to feel like fully, deeply in love with this reality and grateful and just like, you know, every single day is blessing and a blessing. And you take this intention and you throw it into the future, and it like wraps around your objective. It's like a rock. Let's just say, you know, like that rock is more a metaphor. And then from there, you can literally like walk along this rope, and this rope is like guiding you to your future. And as long as you're like doing the inner work, this future is coming towards you. You're like, this is a trippy part about being human. You literally take the future and it's like you fold it back into the past. This is actually like how we manifest. This is one of our abilities to manifest that I think a lot of people just don't really, they haven't been taught this. They never really understood this, because again, we're taught this idea that time is linear. But when we understand that time is not linear, it's actually this idea of retro causality. And so like the objectives that we have in the future are there to be able to call us through into the growth of the present moment, into this ability to be able to like not only practice deeply trusting, but to practice getting really fucking good at manifesting, because we are here to become better dreamers within the dream. And we literally came into this reality because we are really fucking good at manifesting. You would not be here if you were not good at manifesting. And now it is about being able to remember how good we are and how capable we are, and to be able to trust in this process. That again, like I say this example for you, and T Marie, I'm going to read your comment here in a second, that like this is the best example I can give when it comes to like relationships. If you're like looking, so let's, and this was something I had to go through too, right? I can only talk about things if I've gone through the experience, and I'm grateful that I've gone through experiences such as heartbreak so that I can talk about them, so that I can actually provide context. Otherwise, I'm just talking out of my cosmic ass, right? But as a Cancerian, like for everyone here, like I'm a Cancerian, so if that means something to you, then you can understand like how I'm like very heart oriented and caring and compassionate for community, and that's why I do these broadcasts to help people. But when it comes to relationships, just as an example, but applies to anything, if you want that next relationship, so let's just say you just got out of a relationship, like it just broke it broke your heart, but again, it broke open your heart. It wasn't a breakup, it was a breakthrough. It shifted you into a new level of vibration. That's a whole thing in itself to be able to comprehend, but that can happen with anything. Again, you know, even if you like left a job, you like broke up with your job, it's like, no, you broke through your job because your energy shifted and there's something better coming your way, something that's going to serve you more. If you're tuned into this broadcast, you're here with a purpose. You're not here just to like work like a robot job. You're here to do something that's going to help other people and to help accelerate the shift in consciousness. That is the work that we're here to do. But going back to my specific example, basically, if you're just out of this breakup or out of a relationship or out of a job, the best piece of advice I can give you is to know that whatever it is that you're working on manifesting already exists. It is already there. It is already waiting for you. And how you get that is not just by going out and chasing it with like coming from a place of lack or coming from a place of desperation, but literally just by doing the work on yourself, loving yourself, taking care of yourself, shifting your vibration, raising your vibration. And then as you do this, it shows up. It meets you in that place. Like seriously, I've experienced this. Like that's the thing. Like so specifically with examples, right? Like with relationship. I wish more people knew this. And I hope by me telling you this, you can tell this with other people. But basically, like if you want that next really meaningful relationship, you don't have to go out and chase it. All you have to do is work on yourself, shift yourself into that vibrational match, and then it will show up to you. You'll meet that person at an event. You'll meet in a corner synchronistically. Your paths will cross. Magnetism, the law of magnetism, it will happen. And trust in this will happen. I'm saying this because this has come from my own experience. I understand how synchronicity works, and I know more and more of us are understanding how synchronicity works. So again, like this card is really being able to reflect as we get ready to move into that next chapter. How is our vibration? Are we just kind of moving through and we're just like, whoa, here I go, like I'm like, let's hope this works? Or can it be from this like super fucking dialed in place of just clarity and reflecting on the past, seeing the lessons that we've learned, journaling? Like this is like seriously for Marie, if you haven't already yet, journal, really dump things out of your mind onto paper so that you can read it back to yourself, journal, and really get clear on like how you have grown. And just be able to like understand what you are doing right now to be able to bring your best vibration you can into that next chapter. And then that's the thing with manifestation. If it's meant for you, you won't miss it. And that's like such a beautiful idea. And I say that and I hope me just saying that brings some people a sense of ease. If it is meant for you, you will not miss it. However, your ability to do the inner work, to meditate, to reflect, to practice loving yourself, to take care of yourself, and to be responsible in taking care of yourself allows what is meant for you to arrive sooner. This is the goal for us as souls here on this earth right now. It's to be able to accelerate the rate at which we evolve as soul in a shorter amount of time. So this is where like an advanced soul is different from a soul that's still like in an earlier stage of their journey. A soul that's in an earlier stage of their journey, they might go through this lesson and it might take months. It might take a year. Like it could literally be this long process. And then finally they're just like, oh, now I get it. An advanced soul who's much more aware, much more in tune with how the universe functions, can see the lessons coming and can actually like go through the purpose of that lesson and the growth behind that lesson in like a week, maybe even a day, if they take the time to reflect. And this is why like meditation is such a valuable thing. And if we do this at the end of the day where we just reflect and think and learn and observe and show up as a student, to show up as a cosmic student and to pass the test by being able to be like, okay, universe, your pop quiz, thank goodness I studied here, now I can pass the test. If the universe is like pop quiz and you're just like, oh, I haven't been studying, then you fail the test. And then it's like, okay, we'll try asking you again in a week, and then you get the same lesson, and whoa, you didn't study again. Okay, we'll try again in another week, and then you don't get the lesson, and then the universe is like, oh man, like this person's dense, like they're not getting it, but they will get it eventually. And then again, so it might take some person like months and months to finally be like, oh, now I get it. The quiz comes around again, and then you're able to finally be able to like meet that lesson and be like, now I get it, because 10 of Swords, I was paying attention. So this card is a lot to do with paying attention, becoming conscious, holistic thought, inspiration, and knowing that by observing the past and by observing the future, which is a very interesting thing to think about. Like, can you remember the future? Can you? Just ask yourself that question. Can you sit here and just be like, what does the future feel like? And you're invited to make that a feeling that you choose, right? Like, you're just like, I want the future to be fulfilling, nurturing, enriching. Feel that right now. A lot of people, when they talk about law of like vibration, law of attraction, they talk about this basic idea that if you want to be able to like manifest that thing that you want in the future, practice feeling it right now, and understand that you have it right now because it's already in the future. And then you're just kind of like, again, you're kind of like following the breadcrumbs, and the synchronicities will start guiding you. So this card is also about like being able to really pay attention, to see the language of the universe, and to be able to like see the breadcrumbs that the universe is putting out for you. So again, if you're not paying attention, you're walking past the breadcrumbs and you're taking a detour. You're doing something that's going to take like months that you could be able to bring into your reality in weeks, maybe even days. So this card is really about being able to, again, reality check, disillusionment. How conscious are you? How much responsibility are you bringing into your everyday being? Are you paying attention? Are you showing up as a good cosmic student? For everybody here, I really invite you here. Sushi, thanks for your comment. I see you. I'm glad you're enjoying this. For everybody here, ask yourself this question and be honest with yourself. Am I showing up as a good cosmic student? In the same way that if you were in class back in high school or college, you could answer this question honestly for yourself. Just be like, am I being a good student? And you'd be able to like, well, like, I'm not doing the readings that are assigned. I'm not showing up to class. I'm not doing the extracurricular. There's a quiz coming up that I haven't studied for. There's an essay that I barely started. No, I'm not really doing. No, there's room for improvement. Ask yourself that same question on a metaphysical perspective. Am I being a good cosmic student? And that same thing comes in the principle of, am I reflecting on the lessons? Am I practicing bringing gratitude? Am I practicing taking care of my physical body? Am I exercising? Am I meditating? Am I getting sleep properly? Am I practice going outside my comfort zone? Am I expressing gratitude for others? Am I focusing on giving opposed to just getting? Am I paying attention to the lessons? Am I looking for the language of the universe? Am I practicing expanding my consciousness? Am I seeing the bigger picture? And if you can answer yourself yes to that, then you're just like, yes, I am showing up as a student, while also acknowledging that you're still growing. Like, that's the thing. You're only capable of doing what you are capable of doing where you are at. But in any given moment, you're capable of being realistic with yourself, breaking yourself out of disillusionment. And if there's a part of you that's just like, actually, I've been kind of slacking. Actually, I've been kind of like, and not to say you're saying it from a place of judgment. Like, that's the thing. No point in shaming yourself, but to also just be able to acknowledge that like now is the time to make a new choice. So if you're just like, yeah, like I maybe I've been like, maybe my environment has kind of been like affecting my mindset, and maybe I've been around people that have just been kind of like talking about things that aren't really inspiring me, and that's why I've been kind of thinking this way. So just be like, what do I need to change? Well, maybe tuning into this broadcast is a very important step to just be like, right. Okay, environment. Who am I hanging out with? What am I listening to? What am I eating? Metaphysically, what am I eating? What am I ingesting? What am I like paying attention to? Am I around other like-minded people? Am I around community? And that's the beauty of us doing these broadcasts, is we work together as community. We work together as mirrors for us to see each other and for us to be able to support each other, for us to be able to be like, oh yeah, I remember, and I see other people remembering too, and it helps me remember. Because this is the thing, we have a tendency to forget. I don't know if you've noticed that, but we have a tendency to just like cosmically forget, where we just forget. And if we aren't around other people who are in the process of remembering, it's really easy to forget. But when we're in a process where we hold each other accountable, we're just like, let's do the work together. Let's show up together. Let's practice manifesting together. Let's be light workers, light guardians, and shifters together. The shared momentum is here. So Team Marie, really just like seeing this as an invitation for you to just show up in the fucking badass cosmic badass that you are. For everybody here, you are a fucking cosmic badass. And thank you for doing the work. And know that like the work is actually here to free you. Don't avoid the work. Allow the work to be a way for you to build momentum. That is such a key idea. So moving into the next chapter, as we wrap up this card here, let's make a promise to ourselves, especially with Saturn going direct. Saturn going direct is like a lot to do with like manifesting full potential, manifesting reality, moving into new chapters, moving into like new places of success, prosperity, manifestation. Let's move into this next chapter and be like, let's fucking rock it. Let's like ask yourself, what would it look like if I show up in this next chapter is as best as I possibly can? What would that look like? And this is the thing, like when you within this reality, this is like a hack. If you ask the universe, you're just like, what is the wisest choice that I can make in this moment? In these next few steps? What is the wisest thing that I can do in this moment? If you ask yourself that will help guide you, because there's an inner part within you where if you take the time to listen, it will be able to give you that like intuitive guidance for that next step. So that in itself is like such a powerful idea. And I'll just say this thing too, because this is just like practical tips. If you ever notice yourself just like impulsively kind of like about to do something, check in with yourself and give yourself at least one more breath, metaphorically or literally, to be able to reflect and just be able to like listen before you take that immediate impulse. Sometimes there's a time and space and you'll feel it out, but ideally you want to be able to get into the situation where you're using your clarity and your insight, where you don't want to have to like do something and then have to like take a couple steps back because you kind of like acted too fast. But if you give yourself that space to check in with your heart, to check in with your wisdom and just be like, is this the wisest move I can make? What is the wisest move that I can make? Ask yourself this. Ask your inner guide. Ask your higher self. Merge your 5D consciousness with your 3D form. This is part of what it means to be a multidimensional being, is to be able to benefit from asking these questions, to understand that the intelligence is there so that it can serve you. And then maybe you're just like, okay, that initial reaction, that initial like impulse action, maybe I'm going to do something else. And then you do that, and then you don't have to take that step back, but you can keep taking progressive steps forward mindfully, patiently. Again, just like very kind of like in this very Zen state, but with a deep confidence, a deep trust, a deep knowing, and a deep degree of inspiration. So again, mind, thinking ahead, inner orientation, becoming conscious, holistic thought, inspiration, knowledge, realistic self-assessment, cutting out the bullshit. Like where are we bullshitting ourselves? Let's get real with that, and let's use this as an opportunity to call ourselves into like better self-empowerment, more accountability. Like that is what we as light workers need: accountability and momentum. The ability to really just be able to be like, yes, I'm doing the work, I'm building momentum, and the momentum is so important. And again, reality check, meditation, and that momentum comes from us like being able to like do the inner work, meditation. So I'll just say this quick metaphor just in terms of momentum. Think of it, this is a parable. I play hockey. I'm a Canadian. I live in London, Ontario, Canada. I know I didn't really mention that earlier. And Team Marie, go ahead and let us know if this resonates for you, how this resonates with you. But this is just a quick example. Momentum is so important. When I'm playing hockey, I'm skating. And a lot of what you can do is kind of like curving, and you're like figure eights, and you're kind of like moving. And as long as you keep moving, the momentum is there, and it's easier to keep going. But if I'm like going and I completely stop, and then I have to restart and move again, that takes up a lot of energy. And that is kind of like where we as individuals, we want to make sure that we're not accidentally bringing ourselves to a full stop, aka losing momentum, and then having to like push just to get momentum again. Ideally, we want to keep the momentum going. We want to keep the consistency of it going. And when we get into this state, this is the beauty of what it means to be conscious and self-aware and self-mastery. This card's a lot to do with self-mastery, is the ability to be able to like maintain a degree of momentum where, again, when the little obstacles come up, where something might have taken maybe a previous version of ourselves, if there was a little obstacle, a little challenge, it might have taken us like maybe like weeks where it might take us into like a bit of a low, or it might kind of like sidetrack us, and we're just kind of like there, but we're there for like way longer than we need to be. And then the momentum is like way harder to build up. But if we're like really doing the work and we're just like observing and we're asking questions like, what is this learning? How is this helping me? Feeling the feels, reflecting, not avoiding the feelings, but really observing them, honoring them, having gratitude. Then instead, like that little hiccup, it might be like boop, but then you keep going. And there's very minimal downtime. You might be able to like go through a challenge and you might be able to process it within like a day, opposed to what normally an older version of yourself might have taken weeks to be able to like recalibrate momentum on. So again, this is a very powerful card. So again, for Marie, for you to be able to just like see this card as a chance for you to really be able to like reflect, what has that last chapter really taught you as you get ready to move into this next chapter? And how can you move into this chapter with like as much accountability, as much clarity, and as much like just like fucking badassness, to put it simply, that you can bring with you by being accountable, by being responsible, and by using your full capabilities as a sovereign cosmic being to be able to show up, to do the work, to practice manifesting, and to also again be able to practice like showing up in such a way that you'll be able to help others along your journey. And the inspiration ripples, the inspiration continues. So by us showing up, it inspires others to show up as well. So Marie says, I have learned so much just living life. You must have goals and know that everything you go through is a lesson you needed to learn and grow. Absolutely, Marie. You know it. And again, like that wisdom, it's interesting because not everyone sees life that way. And it's so powerful. It's so powerful for us to be able to like remind each other and just be like, yes. This is how we navigate. This is how we navigate as individuals, as humans, by having gratitude for those lessons. Every single challenge is training for the next one in that sense. So very, very cool. So awesome. So again, Marie, go ahead, leave in the comments, how did that resonate with you? And for anybody else here in the chat, go ahead and let me know how this resonated with you as well. Drop an 1111 if this resonated with you as well. If there was something here that I said that you were just like, yeah, that's legit, that's pretty cool. and I definitely relate to that. So awesome. Sweet. Thank you so much, everyone, again, for tuning in on all the channels. We got some people on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch as well. So thank you to Savage Messiah. Thank you to Amy. Thank you to Sushi. Thank you to Paradoxical. If you're watching this on Instagram, go to my Instagram story. Like, jump out of this, go to my Instagram story, swipe up on my last story to join in on the YouTube. Go to youtube.com/SkullBabylon and you can join in right there. And that's where the YouTube chat is. So we got more people in the YouTube chat than we do on the Instagram. And you can jump in over there. So again, yeah, Marie, go ahead and leave a comment. How did that resonate with you? I'd love to be able to share that with people on air. Awesome. Amy, thank you so much, Amy, for joining in. Amy, one of our Patreon supporters as well. Amy saying 1111 dropped in at the right time. Awesome. Ain't that awesome how that just happens? Jody says 1111 down under in Adelaide, which is like Adelaide, Australia. And she says so on point. Awesome. Thank you, Jody. I'm glad that that message was able to help serve. Awesome. Elise, thank you so much, and a huge shout out. Elise did this during the reading, and I didn't want to stop the reading to mention it, but I'm going to mention it now. Thank you to Elise for signing up on Patreon. Elise signed up as our newest Patreon supporter, so thank you so much to Elise. Elise actually signed up for the $11 level, which is also the option for her to be able to join as a leading member in our community, which again is our private membership. So Elise, if you want to be able to join as a leading member, make sure that you you would, when you join the Patreon, I'll send you a message anyways if you need further instructions, but you can sign up as a leading member, which allows you to like join our broadcast. We do have broadcasts, our interactive synergy circles on Thursdays at 9:30. So if you're new to this channel, please feel free to subscribe. For those of you on Instagram, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube. Tune in on Thursdays at 9:30, and that's where like us as a team come in on air and we talk about the different ways we're helping shift consciousness as creators. We share our work, we help other people connect to our work, so it's a great way for more people to like know about the work that you're doing. So Elise, thank you so much for signing up on the Patreon. We're gonna do that next reading for Elise. And again, we'll do another reading for the next person to be able to sign up on Patreon. Again, this is a bit of a marathon, so we'll keep doing more readings as a Patreon signups continue to roll in. So please feel free. If anybody here, Savage Messiah, thanks so much for jumping from the Instagram to the YouTube. You made it. Welcome. So again, for anybody here who would like the next reading after Elise, go ahead and check out the Patreon. Let me know in the comments if you're signing up for the Patreon, and you can check it out there with more information. And hey, you don't have to sign up right away. You can sign up a little bit later and also get a private reading as well. The Patreon donations won't process till the beginning of October. And so therefore it gives you the opportunity to you can sign up whenever you get a chance. Scorp444, hello, how are you? Awesome, doing wonderful, having a great time here with everyone, just hanging out. And I hope you just sending you good vibes and welcoming you to our community, to our circle. And I'll just post as well for anybody who hasn't yet. If you're just enjoying what we're doing here, and I mentioned we have a live broadcast that we do with the community. If you would like to be able to get notifications for that, go ahead and subscribe to our newsletter. I'll post the link for that in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed to that, absolutely, please feel free. And that is the weekly newsletter that releases on Wednesdays. So later today. And that helps feature content from community creators as well as information for the upcoming broadcasts that we got. So we're going to do another reading for Elise. Marie, if you're still here in the chat, go ahead and let us know how that reading resonated with you. And I'm just going to take a few moments here, just take a bit of a break, just to be able to rest my voice. And again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. If you have any questions about how things roll here, please feel free to let me know. And we'll do the next reading for Elise. So Maya's Tube, thank you so much for joining in. And Marie, if anybody else wants the picture for this card, send me a message and I can screenshot you the write-up and send it to you as well. So again, for those of you who may be joining on the fly, what we do here within the broadcast, if you're here at the beginning, we pick someone right out of the chat and we do the readings that way. But then when people sign up for the Patreon, they jump the line and then they get the next reading on air. So Maya, if you would like to be able to get the reading after Elise, who's the next reading that we're going to do, you get that by signing up on the Patreon. And I'll post a link for that in the chat. 1 second. And again, the Patreon itself is a website for people to help support artists who they like supporting. And that's the beauty of this day and age, is that because of Patreon, people such as myself can work on focusing on creating awesome quality content for community. And then people can be able to get incredible value out of this. And we can create awesome services, awesome content, and the entire community helps create it. And it just creates so much value for everyone. So again, by signing up on the Patreon, you're helping create value for the rest of the community. So thank you for helping us help others as well. So when you sign up on the Patreon, if you sign up at any level, you can get a Light Guardian Crystal. And if you sign up at the $11 level, you can get a Lumerian Light Guardian Crystal, which is one of the higher tier ones. And I'll show you as well. I hadn't actually shown this one. So this is one of the beautiful Lumerian Light Guardian Crystals. And this one changes color, but they all change color. They all come with a solid color, and they come with a color changing color. And so you can see here, this one's super beautiful. Seriously, I love these, man. You can just fall asleep with these. They're just so cute. And they're basically little Excaliburs, little lightsabers, and super, super fun. Kids love them. And again, people see them, they're just dude, these things are so magical. What? What? You make these? Seriously, what? These are from Atlantis or something like that. Where did these come from? But again, absolutely, these were straight up channeled from the dream space. Seriously, over time, these just kind of came to me. So the blueprints came to me, and now I create these to be able to share with community. And so here's a beautiful Lumerian one. So again, if you sign up at the $11 on the Patreon, then you can get a Lumerian one. And also you can be able to sign up as a leading member as well. And Amy, if you need to get another Light Guardian Crystal, Amy, again, let me, you have a discount for the shop. And even if you just want to let me know your budget, I can send you, we have mini versions as well. So Amy, let me know. I'd be more than happy to be able to help replace your Light Guardian Crystal, because Amy says she misplaced hers. So I hope it went where it needed to. Someone found a Light Guardian Crystal and they're just oh my God, this is an alien technology. What? I'm sure someone probably got super excited by finding that. So awesome. Maya, reading your question there. My question is the guy on my mind the one for me? So Maya, if you would like to be able to get a reading, absolutely, you go ahead and sign up for the Patreon. I don't actually answer questions specifically from the chat, but I do invite people just to be able to be open to receiving the inspiration that comes through the readings, and you'll probably get some insight there. And I'm more than happy talking about relationships and stuff like that. So yeah, so definitely. So, and again, I appreciate everybody being here. I know there's like a lot of people, a lot of feminine energy that tunes into this broadcast, and I just want to be able to acknowledge that I feel the support of this. So like for all the people like helping like just hold space for this with the feminine energy, thank you so much. Because again, as a Cancerian, I really honor like the feminine elements within myself, and that's like something super important to just be able to be like intuitive and caring and emotional and like connected with my waters and like like able to just kind of like feel like the female within myself. And so I appreciate all of us just kind of like holding that space for each other. So all right, so we're gonna get into the next reading here. Again, I just have to be mindful because after talking for like 2 hours, my voice eventually gets a little bit sore, so I have to be mindful, and I'll just kind of like take a few breaths here. So I'm just inviting everyone to take a few breaths here. So we're gonna do the next reading for Elise. And if anybody here, so again, if anybody here, Cynthia, just reading your comment here. So for Cynthia saying, I want one, aka a light guardian crystal. Oh, Amy says, my friends at a music festival would pick me out that way at night from wearing it. I miss it. LOL. Oh, so Amy's saying that she'd be like wearing her light guardian crystal and people in the crowd would be able to like see her because they'd recognize the light guardian crystal. Absolutely. Like I wear like my pink one, my purple one, like pretty much all the time. And I know like I like on the dance floor, like seriously, these things, they're also used for like dancing. Like seriously, like when I use these, you can like use them as flow toys and things like that. Like I'm really into like flow dancing, and you can also use them as like fidget spinners. So just answering Cynthia's question, and then we're going to get into Lisa's reading. So again, for the light guardian crystals, I'll just say it super simply. If someone were to ask, how much do these cost? These cost as much as you wish to pay after you sign up for the Patreon. So you sign up for the Patreon literally for $3 and you can get a reading on air. And then you could literally pay what you want. You could pay $1, you could pay $10, you could pay $20, helps cover shipping. And then you can get a light guardian crystal. Plus, you also get 25% discount for items at the Quest item shop. And if you're ordering them straight from the shop, the minimum price is $35 plus shipping. And the Lumerian ones start at $50 plus shipping. So again, you can either buy it straight up flat price, and that's totally cool. I'm open to that. But you can also sign up for the Patreon, and signing up for the Patreon is super appreciated because that's in a sense that is more valuable for me. As much as I'm happy being able to provide these for people in a way that works for them, for me it's more, there's more value in you signing up for the Patreon because that creates a regenerative income which helps support the community in the long run as well. So again, if you would like a light guardian crystal, go ahead and sign up for the Patreon, and you can also check out the links for the Quest item shop, and I'll post that there. Elise, go ahead and drop a comment in the chat. Let me know that you're here and that you're ready for your reading, and we're going to get right into that next reading. And I'm just going to post a comment into the chat for the light guardian crystal. So Cynthia, go ahead and check out the Quest item shop, and you can explore more there. And for anybody in the YouTube chats, go ahead and check that out. That's questitemshop.com. Sushi, Aries sisters in the Instagram chat. That's cool. Thanks so much for tuning in. Again, if you're tuning in on Instagram, Sushi, Amy, if you guys want to jump over to the YouTube, please feel free. You can join the party there. And either way, wherever you're comfortable watching, just on the YouTube, it looks different. Like you're only getting like, because I'm talking to the camera there, so you'll see the screen. The screen's different. We got like Merkabahs floating on screen and stuff like that. You have to see it to understand it. So go ahead and swipe up. All right, Elise, thank you again so much for your support on the Patreon. Super appreciated. Sending you lots of love. Again, with the light guardian crystals, these can be used for if anybody who's like Reiki, like energy practitioner, there are people who are just like, yo, I want a full set of these and like to use these during like energy work. Because again, they're like meant to be like directional. They're like wands, right? So you can like use these for like kind of like clearing out energy and things like that. So these are like, you can use these in as many magical ways as you choose to be able to use them. So it's super cool. Awesome. And I love this freaking purple one. Look how chunky this one is. It's so awesome. All right, so if anybody's interested in signing up for the Patreon, just go ahead and leave a comment. So Cynthia, I'll post a comment for the Patreon into the YouTube, into the live chat, so you can see that there. It only takes about 3 minutes to sign up. And again, if you sign up, not only do you get the Light Guardian Crystal for a pay what you wish, but you also get the next reading. So again, as a marathon broadcast, we're gonna keep doing readings as long as there are people still signing up for the Patreon, or until like my like throat is just like Oh, ow, that hurt just doing that. So again, thank you. I have a very powerful throat chakra, in case you haven't noticed. As we all do. That was one of the things that I discovered as a young boy. The ability for me to be able to inspire people's hearts and minds through the power of my voice. No, it's true. Seriously. I am grateful to be able to, like, have a voice. My dad used to be, like, a kind of like a TV broadcaster as well, so it's, like, in my DNA. And now I use this. Again, now I use my, like, voice and my skills and my talents to be able to just, like, help inspire other people. Awesome. Oh, just gotta reset the broadcast on Instagram. All right, so Marie, we're gonna get right into your reading here. Thank you again, everyone, so much for joining the live tarot reading with Wolf marathon edition. Live tarot reading with Wolf marathon. Posting again onto the Instagram. The Instagram I have to restart it every hour, and this is the second time I've restarted it, so that means we're in our third hour. How many hours have we been going for? How many days have we been going for? Are we in our third hour? Or I guess we're in our second hour? When did I start this? Yeah, we're at least in 2 hours. So, all right. So I'm gonna keep an eye onto the Facebook chat. Cynthia, if you're interested in signing up for the Patreon, go ahead and just let me know. Thank you to those of you who signed up for the to the newsletter. That's super appreciated. That helps support the entire community. Again, all of you, just in any way, help support the entire community. Sweet, awesome. Oh, who just jumped over? Hey, oh, Amy's in the YouTube chat now. Hey, Amy, Ashley, hey, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Appreciate everybody being here. All right, we're gonna get into this next reading. Okay, perfect. So again, we're gonna do this next reading for Elise, and the readings that we've done so far, we've done 2 readings so far, and yeah, we got super in depth with those 2 readings. Awesome. Aloha, Jessica. Thank you so much for tuning in. Jessica says hello, Wolf. So again, so we're going to do this next reading for Elise, and then the next reading will be for the next person who signs up on the Patreon. And again, we'll pretty much keep doing this broadcast until there's like no one watching and no one signing up for the Patreon, and then that's the universe's way of basically saying like, my goodness, Brendan, you've done a good job, go to bed. But I'm willing to stay up late tonight. I'm able to, at least. So Cynthia, go ahead and sign up to the Patreon. It takes about 3 minutes to sign up. And you can take your time doing that, because we're going to do a reading for Elise, and I'll keep an eye open for that. And thank you. If you're signing up for the Patreon, anybody, thank you for signing up. And again, if you sign up at any point, you can also get the private reading for me as well. Oh, let me update the on-screen info as well. I love doing this. I love updating the on-screen info. It's just so exciting to be able to like see the numbers. So we are now at we're at 1111. Now we're at 11. We're at 111. Now we're at 112. And allow me to just be able to update the info here for adding in Elise's name. So thank you to Elise. So our recent Patreon supporters, shout out to Elise, shout out to T. Marie, shout out to Chad, and shout out to Jennifer. Thank you so much. And again, bit by bit, drop by drop, continuing to work towards our next milestone of 150. And I'll be doing more broadcasts throughout the week. So this is like a super awesome way for us to be able to create value for the community. And I appreciate everyone's support in all form. If you haven't yet, please feel free to share this broadcast, especially if you're on Facebook. Amy, Ashley, I know you guys are on my Facebook. If you guys can share this broadcast to a couple groups, like while I'm doing this, if you can just kind of like share this into random spiritual groups, please feel free. That is super appreciated, because I can only share it to so many places. And that way more people can tune in. So let's get into this next reading. Yeah, so again, we got about like at least, I'm just checking the numbers here, more than 20 people tuned in. So for everybody here, go ahead at some point and just like drop a 555 if you're here, if you're in the chat. Just give us a quick ping, and yeah, just let us know that you're here in the chat, because again, there's like people who are watching, and just to be able to like have you in the comments in the chat is super appreciated. And again, if there isn't another person signed up for the Patreon, then we'll pull another reading from the chat. And if you would like a reading from the chat, if you would like a free reading from the chat, all you have to do is share this broadcast and stick around for the instructions. But if you do want like just a reading, I'll just check in on this real quick, and then we'll get right into Elisa's reading. If anybody here just wants like if anybody here would want a free reading, like to be chosen from the chat, drop a 333 into the comments. And then I'll keep an eye on that, because being able to see that is like, okay, sweet. There's like a bunch of people who want a free reading. So what we may do, we'll do this next reading for Elise, and if there isn't a new Patreon sign up, between now and the next time that we finish this reading, then we'll pull a reading from the chat if there's enough people there. And so again, if you want a reading in the chat, if you're like in the chat and you're just like, yo, I'd love to be able to get a free reading, drop a 333 and also be sure to share this broadcast. So those are the instructions. Share the broadcast, drop a 333 in the chat, and then I'll see that. So awesome. And I think Cynthia may be signing up for the Patreon, so we'll keep an eye on that. All right, Elise, thank you so much for tuning in. Stephanie, Shar, thank you so much. Seeing your comments there. You guys are looking for a reading if possible, so thank you again. And again, reminder that like this reading, by you being here, is for you. We do this as a collective, so whether it's like you like pulling the card or you just being here, this reading is still for you, and that's the value of what we create here through these broadcasts. So let's work on getting that next Patreon sign up as we're doing this reading for Elise. If anybody has any questions about that, let me know real quick and we'll answer that. And yeah, we'll get into this next reading. So Elise, you're ready. You are here, and just inviting you to be able to drop into that heart space. Activate the green light guardian crystal within your very being. And just take a few breaths here. Let's just chill. Let's just open our heart. Let's allow ourselves to just be in this space of gratitude, feeling the oneness of community, visualizing here, all of us just kind of like hanging around. Maybe we're at the dream tree, just kind of like partying together, hanging out, seeing people dancing, people celebrating, people gathered with intention. And so Elise, inviting you to just be in this heart space of gratitude, inviting everyone to help collectively hold this energy together, practicing in this little like micro meditation right here. This whole broadcast is a team meditation. And just opening yourself up to the intention of show me what I need to see. And it is this intention and this respect that we have through this broadcast for one another and for the cards and for the divination and for the words that come through that allow like this message to really work. Like the synchronicities during this broadcast, this is like live synchronicities on air, and it works. And we've been doing it so long, so many times, and I'm confident in being able to like literally just be like, yes, this is awesome. This is like awesome stuff. And this is us like evoking synchronicity together as a team to be able to bring forth powerful messages for each of us. And it's exciting. It's exciting for me too. All right. So beautiful. Awesome. Tasha, thank you so much. I'm glad you were able to make it. Thank you, Tisha. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. All right. So Elise, everybody here, dropping into your heart space. Elise, drop into that intention of show me what I need to see. And then when you are ready, you're going to type now into the chat once you are ready. So for everybody here, you can project that intention too. And Elise is going to type now into the chat. And then we're going to pull the card synchronistically. As we sit here live on this broadcast, we allow ourselves to merge the future and the past, here with the ancient wisdom of above, the ancestors filling our hearts with love. We speak to the truth within who we are. We allow the wisdom to come down from the stars. We are inspired on our path to be able to change this world in ways that will last, to sing our song, to dance our dance, to allow ourselves to see this collective transcendence. There's the now from Elise as we split the deck. And I pull the card from the bottom there. Magic unfolding live on air. It's exciting stuff. I'm going to charge it here with the beautiful green light guardian crystal. Do you feel the excitement before the card showing? Isn't there like, do you feel that thing where it's just like, like what's it gonna be? And you just like bite your lip. You're like it's exciting. What's it gonna be? It's like, I don't know. It reminds me of like opening up like a Pokemon deck back in the day. It's like, ooh, it's gonna be something fun and stuff like that. So, the card that we got here during this broadcast. Thanks, Suchi, Rapper, Spidey. Awesome. This card here, pulling on behalf of Elise, on behalf of the team, is the Queen of Cups. Ooh, beautiful card. Beautiful card. So this is an exciting card to be able to get. So excuse me. Allow me to open the book as I open it up to the reading for the Princess of Cups. I love when we get like the princess cards. And it's cool because like, yeah, like Oh man, there's so many cards here that just like resonate with me in so many deep ways. And again, that's kind of the idea with these readings, you know, it's like every single one of these is an archetype within us. So when we pull these cards, it's like a way for us to be able to, again, for us to be able to like be reminded of these different archetypes within ourselves, and to be able to like bring each of them through at different moments in different ways, and continue to just like level up in that way. Awesome. Amy, thanks for your help and sharing the link. Super appreciate it. Definitely liking that comment. Everybody else, please feel free to just share this broadcast as well. If you haven't yet, if you're tuned into this broadcast, just part of the way that you can help is just by sharing this broadcast, especially if you're on Facebook. Go ahead, share it to a few groups, because seriously, you could share it to one group and suddenly, boom, there's like 200 people tuned in. It can happen. And again, when you're doing that, you're allowing those 200 people to be able to receive the messages that we got coming through here. So again, this is about the service, the inspiration. There might be someone who tunes into this who's just like, whoa, 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 whoa. That touched me. That touched my heart. That opened up something inside of me, and it changed my story ever so slightly. And that's what we're here to do. We're able to help invite people to be a part of this bigger story. This community, unity, light workers, light guardians, shifters. Awesome. All right. So again, we're going to get into this next reading for Elise. For anybody who would like the next reading on air, either stick around if we're going to do it out of the chat, or if you would like to be able to jump the line, go ahead and sign up for the Patreon. And again, the Patreon is a monthly micro donation. It only takes about 5 minutes to sign up. Your support is greatly appreciated. It helps us provide the value that we create here for community. And also you can get your beautiful Light Guardian crystal when you sign up as well, as a pay what you wish. So you can sign up for $3, $5, $1,000, whatever works. It's all equally appreciated. Seriously, like someone could sign up on the Patreon for like $1 million right now, and I would just be like, cool, thanks. Someone could sign up for $3, and I'd be like, cool, equally thanks. Like seriously, like that's because it's all just like, that just helps us increase our global impact, right? So again, your support in any form, even by sharing this broadcast, is equally appreciated. And I deeply mean that. So appreciated. Awesome. Thank you, Sushi. Sushi saying feeling masculine energy. Sweet. Yeah, and again, I appreciate that comment. I appreciate people here who are just like, yo, Brendan, you do a really good job of kind of like anchoring in the divine masculine. And the divine masculine, what is that? It's like very much like the merging of the feminine and the masculine. Absolutely. I really honor that. I really like embody like the archetype of like a sacred warrior, sacred guardian, sacred male, divine male. And again, I am super honored to be surrounded by, in this broadcast, primarily females. Like I guarantee you right now, probably 70% of the people tuned in right now are female. And that's awesome. So again, let's get into this reading for the Princess of Cups. I'm so exciting. I'm so excited to be able to do this reading. So again, for anybody who wants a next reading on air, go ahead and sign up for the Patreon. It takes about 3 minutes to sign up. You can read more information there. You can sign up later, and let me know in the comments if you're like looking to be able to sign up. And we'll keep an eye open for that as we do this reading. So, Princess of Cups, Elise, are you ready? Are you ready to get your paradigm shifted? Awesome. Thank you, Sushi. Sushi says, you speak truth. Thank you so much. And again, I'm just the universe. I'm just you talking to us so that we can continue to grow together. All right, let's do this. Here is the Princess of Cups. Looking at the card, we're going to just explain what we see visually, and then we're going to read from the book, and then we're going to go deep. Oh, we're going to go deep. You can count on it. So, Elise, this is a good card. Thank you for pulling this one. You pulled this. We pulled this. Princess of Cups. What do we have here? This beautiful, like, green figure of a woman, which is super interesting because I was, like, holding the... Like, look at the green. The green's, like, the exact same green. Like, that's actually really synchronistic, how we just kind of, like, did that because I didn't plan it. And this green woman kind of standing in front of, like, a picture frame with these like red lines kind of going across the bottom. I'm not exactly sure what those are about just yet. And kind of like this like collage of abstract colors. It's almost like, it looks like kind of like an art gallery that we're kind of like seeing here. And then she's kind of like holding the cups, and she's got like this like interesting pose with her arms. The Green Queen, says Sushi. Interesting. Yeah. And and she appears to be, actually she's a mermaid. If you look, I didn't even notice that. Look at her feet. Her feet are like mermaid flippers. That's interesting. And and then there's like a black abyss kind of behind her, and she's kind of like covering her face. So that's very, very interesting. So again, honestly, with these cards, there's moments where I read these, and this is like still new for me. So like, as much as I'm reading this, I get to learn alongside. Like, this message is for me too, as well. So like, as much as I'm familiar with the deck, I don't remember every single thing. So there's like parts in here where it's just like, sweet, let's read this together. So let's read this together. Captain of her ship, says Sushi. Awesome. Let's read this together. So again, we're going to read this here for Elise, our newest Patreon supporter. For people who want to be able to like get the next reading on air, go ahead, sign up for the Patreon as we're doing this reading, and just leave a comment in the chat and let me know that you're signing up. And Elise, open your heart. Everybody here, just be open. Again, I remind you, if you are tuned into this broadcast, this message is for you. And not just for you, but for you to be able to like see in new ways, embody new ideas, activate new archetypes, and for you to carry this energy forward, to carry this inspiration forward, to carry the shift with you. That's a big thing. Let this broadcast be a call to action, to not just be inspired, but continue to carry this inspiration out further into the world. That is what is needed. And that is what we're doing. So I appreciate you being here and for doing that together. All right, let's get ready to party. This whole thing's a party. What am I talking about? All right. Princess of Cups. Princess of Cups. The image. In front of a colorful stage, a female fable creature steps out from a black background, framed in gold. Meaning, through the connection of the earth and water elements, the creative abilities of the psyche blend with the shape-giving powers of matter. The Princess of Cups represents the female side of the water element. Fantasy and the ability to bring things into reality describe a reserved yet preserving character. I'll reread that. Fantasy and the ability to bring things into reality describe a reserved yet preserving character. The princess, excuse me. Excuse me. Awesome. The Princess of Cups creative being can give form to her long-kept ideals and dreams with the help of subconscious soul powers. I'm going to reread that. The Princess of Cups, apostrophe, creative being can give form to her long-kept ideals and dreams with the help of subconscious soul powers. The object of observation here, however, is not only the realization of fantasy in the material world, but also putting into action of human values, so that these can be expressed in a friendly and conciliatory manner. So, I'm not entirely sure what that word is actually. To bring together. Solid results in the outer world show us unmistakably that our emotions can unmistakably show what our emotions can bring about. I'll reread that. Solid results in the outer world can show us unmistakably what our emotions can bring about. So again, this card's a lot to do with like realizing how powerful we are as creators by being able to like use our emotions. I'll get more into it. Through this, the thought of becoming aware is brought to the forefront. Through the Princess of Cups, we receive the indication to develop our talents and use them in a practical manner. Above and beyond that, it can also indicate that we will reap the appropriate recognition and reward for our efforts. In any case, it concerns, among other things, concrete, obtainable results based on the foundation of spiritual values within the community. Reread that part. In any case, it concerns, among other things, concrete, obtainable results based on the foundation of spiritual values within the community. Astrological significance: Moon, Venus, Cancer, Earth, and water elements. Keywords: realization of ideals, healing arts, emotional depth, ability to create, compassion, self-knowledge, artistic expression, aesthetic sensitivity. Traditional meaning: taking advantage of opportunities, readiness to help, the power of carrying things out, affection. Beautiful, beautiful. Wow. So this is such a powerful card and such an appropriate card to be able to get, and definitely one that I like personally really resonate with. Awesome. What was it? Wow, awesome. Sushi, seeing your comment there, very powerful. This card is super powerful and definitely one that I resonate with because, again, like this card, when we're talking about cups, we're talking about water, we're talking about emotion. And it's interesting because synchronicity wise, I was just kind of saying, it's just like, hey, for everybody watching this, like, hey, I'm a Cancerian, and hey, I'm kind of like aware and in tune with like my divine like female energies and things like that. This card is like, again, speaking to me too, because it's saying, what does that mean? What does that mean to be like the female energy in awareness with the emotional waters? And what is this card really calling us into? So Elise, for you to be able to like receive this card, let this be a card to be able for you to reflect on what services do you want to provide for community? And what are you capable of providing? What, like, this is a very, very powerful card, because this card, like, as princess, you are a prince, a princess, prince. It's very much one and the same. But what is their job? Their job is to be like the ambassador for the king and the queen, for the people of the village, for the people of the kingdom. So the king and the queen can be thought of as like higher conscious ideas. The prince and the princess is like the ambassador between. We, as the Princess of Cups, this card is really basically calling us into action to be like, we are the bridge, we are the conduit, to be able to like pay attention to the emotional things that are building up inside of us, as well as the artistic and creative endeavors that we feel coming forward in our heart, and to move forward with action to be able to bring them into our communities in the act of service. So this card, again, kind of like reflecting on like the astrological significance, the idea of Cancer, again, combined with Venus, is very much about the idea of being able to create things that will assist others on their journey, to be able to benefit others, to be able to help others see more of themselves. So again, for you, Elise, I really invite you to be able to reflect and be able to be like, okay, like, what are some things within inside of me that I'm really feeling called to do? Maybe there's some community events that I feel called to create. Maybe there's some art that I want to make. Maybe there's some posts that I want to be able to share. Maybe there's a story that I have inside that I know is going to be bigger than my own. And your job is to really be able to pay attention to that, to pay attention to what your ideals are. What is your ideal? What does your reality look like? So for example, say it's just like, I feel really called to be able to create like a community space, to be able to bring people together. And for those of you who aren't familiar, within the project that I facilitate, Paradigm Shift Central, a huge thing that we encourage people to do is to be able to like help create conscious community space, to be able to create conscious community space, to be able to help bring people into a space where they can be able to help assist each other in their growth. So Elise, I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but just I plant this seed intentionally, and this goes for everybody here. You can be a facilitator for community. You can create an event. If you feel it in your heart, to just be able to be like, okay, I want to find my tribe. I want to bring people together. I've been on my journey of awakening. I'm here to dance. I'm here to play. I'm like living my water element. I'm here to express my emotions, but I don't want to do it alone. I want to invite my friends. I want to invite my brothers and my sisters to join me in the celebration. I want to put us in a circle. I want to share in conversation. I want to share in community, and I want to uplift all of us. As the water rises, so does every ship. Such a powerful saying to be able to think about that. And by you showing up in service to others, you grow. You see the leader within yourself. So this card, Elise, what does it feel like for you to really be the Princess of Cups? What does that feel like to you? That feels like you stepping into a higher state of responsibility. You have been doing the inner work. You're in tune with yourself. You've already been paying attention to your emotions. It's not like you're just like, oh, how do I tap into my emotions? How do I tap into my emotions more deeply? How can I go even more into the emotional intelligence to be able to guide me in moving forward with more inspiration? To be able to be like, yes, like I want to bring community together. I want to serve. I want to be able to help assist people on their journey. And this is the thing. I invite all of us here. Pay attention and reflect on the ideas of asking yourself, what are the things that only you can do? And this is a very real thing, because there are certain things within your local community where if you don't do it, no one will. And that's a powerful idea, because that means you are there for a reason. You are there to be able to help make those things happen. if you think about this was the exact same thing that I went through. So again, this Princess of Cups, this was like actually a huge archetype that actually encouraged me to start this whole project of Paradigm Shift Central. And this began as like a club in my college. So I'll just tell like that quick story there. And again, that basically came from me just thinking like, I'm like, okay, I want to create a club to be able to bring people together so we can talk about metaphysics, spirituality. And this is what we did. And again, you can do this too. Simply by me telling you this, you can create a paradigm shift community where you are. So at least if you want to connect further, you're a leading member. You can join as a leading member. I can help you in creating these events because I've been doing it for 10 years. I have the experience to be able to help share the blueprints with people. And basically like, it's this very powerful idea where it's like, if I don't do this, who will? And if the answer is no one, if the answer is just like, yo, if I don't do this, it probably won't happen. And then there's just going to be this need within this reality where it's just like, yo, like I would really love to be able to bring people together synchronistically to be able to talk about myself and be able to evolve and grow. That's reality, saying to yourself, right? Talk about myself. Reality is it's just, I just want to talk about myself, right? I want to talk to myself, right? But if that's the answer, if it's just like, if you know within your heart, I'm just like, if you're based on your community, if your community is like not really like fully woke yet, and maybe there's not a lot of other people that you've connected with, and you're just like, yo, if I don't create some sort of community event, then it won't happen, then let that be affirmation for you to just be like, this is why I'm here. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm here. And this is going to call me into more of my own leadership. This is going to call me into being able to see more of myself by showing up in service. And that's a huge thing. Like I learned that too. I got to learn that too by being able to see myself show up as a leader, by seeing myself show up as a prince, a princess, by serving others. You grow by serving others. You grow not just by asking what you can get, but by what you can give. So again, at least I really invite you, reflect, what can you give? What can you give? And honor all the things that you have to give, because you have so much to give, Elise. Your water is infinitely deep. There is no limit to what you can give. What do you want to give? What does that look like? What do you want to share first? Create a list. Elise, I invite you to, anybody here, I invite you to write a list. Like write a list. What's like 5 things that you want to do for community to be able to help inspire others? Set that intention. Ask the universe. Just be like, what can I do to be able to help inspire others? Just ask that question and allow that wisdom to kind of come through into that container. And again, if the answers are just going to be like, ooh, like, okay, creating an event. Ooh, ecstatic dance events? Yo, open-minded discussion combined with ecstatic dance events? Yo, that sounds fucking dope. I can facilitate that. It's not that complicated. And I can help create momentum and invite people to do this. And I say this because like that's part of what I've been doing. I'm actually feeling that like in the events coming up in my local community, I'm going to be facilitating like 2 events back to back in an evening where it'll be like a paradigm shift, open-minded discussion meditation group followed by ecstatic dance. So it'll be like people meeting up, talking about metaphysics, spirituality, practicing talking about these things. Me as like the Prince of Cups holding space for this. And then afterwards to be able to invite the people to stick around for ecstatic dance. So Elise, if that's a model where you're just like, that's exciting, you can do that too. It's an idea. You can do that too. The archetype and the blueprint is there. You, not just Elise, you can do that too. So this card is like very, very important because this card, like combined with the previous cards, the flames, the 7 of flames, the 10 of swords, it's kind of like, okay, like moving into this process of trusting, igniting, moving into our full rainbow spectrum, seeing challenges as catalysts, and then the 10 of swords, being able to see the bigger picture, reflecting on the past, moving into new chapters, and then the Princess of Cups. It's like moving into this next stage of opportunity to be able to practice being a messenger, a conduit, a bridge between higher consciousness, mainstream culture, to be able to help more of consciousness to be able to see itself and to literally be able to accelerate the shift by serving community, by showing up with purpose, and by your leadership. People will be inspired just by you doing this and be like, whoa, this is cool. This inspires me. I'm so grateful to be able to have this. I'm growing. And then at least out of that, you'll be able to be like, whoa, this is helping people. This is changing lives. This is creating connection. And this inspires me deeply because this is actually me connecting with a part of myself that's very important to who I am. So Elise, I invite you to kind of like reflect on that. And maybe you haven't fully felt this yet, but I invite you to just kind of feel, what does it feel like in like 3 months from now where you're facilitating events, if that's what you feel called to do, or whatever it is that you feel called to do in whatever process. But I invite you to facilitate events because I think we need more of it. And you're just like, wow, I didn't even know this, but being a leader is actually a really important part of who I am. And seeing myself show up in that space is actually really important to my self-growth and really important for me to just be able to like continue to like see more, to meet more of myself, you know? So at least there's a part of you that you have not met yet, and you will meet it by showing up in service, by creating events, by facilitating community, by being bold, by expressing yourself, by leading the way. So, realization of ideals. What are your ideals? Get clear on your ideals. I want to create an event where people come out, they talk about metaphysics, they talk about spirituality, they share their wisdom, they share their knowledge, they share their inspiration, they hold space for each other's growth, and they dance and they celebrate and they evolve, and we ripple that inspiration further out into our community. Is that your ideal? If it is, then reflect on that and allow that to be like the goal that kind of guides you, right? Healing arts. How can you create healing space? Again, that is your intention. These community events, healing space. Absolutely. Literally, just by people connecting, that is healing. That in itself is healing. Just think about that. The people who are just like, yo, I have no one to talk to. I'm really interested in metaphysics. And then suddenly they hear about your event. And then they're just like, oh my goodness, this opens up a whole new door of my life. And suddenly I'm connecting with tribe, and I'm connecting with meaning. I'm connecting with purpose. And I'm connecting with other like-minded and like-hearted people. This is so valuable to me. And I'm so grateful. Healing arts. That is what you're doing. You're creating healing space. At least acknowledge the fact that like you are like a modern day shaman. You are a modern day alchemist. We are a modern day shaman, a modern day alchemist. I say this to everyone. I say this to Elise. I say this to all of us. Sushi, I say this to you too. And again, how do we create that space, that sacred space? Emotional depth, ability to create, compassion, self-knowledge, artistic expression, aesthetic sensitivity, taking advantage of opportunities, readiness to help, the power to carry things out, affection. So Elise, as we get close to wrapping up this card, really acknowledge the part in yourself that is just like, yo, I want to help people. That is just a very important part of my being, is helping people. And I say this, this card is really something that I can like talk about on this card, because this is a card that I live. Like, it's cool for me to be able to do this card because I'm just like, yo, this card's very much me, right? Like the Prince of Cups, the Princess of Cups. To be able to be that person who's like showing up, creating, you can do broadcasts, like Elise, you can create these broadcasts, and you can create space through broadcasts as well. You can bring in story. This is a very powerful idea. What is the new story that you want to be able to invite people to be a part of? And it's a story of community. It's a story of tribe. It's a story of the resurgence of the light guardians and the shifters and the light workers, of those of us who are like spiritually awakening together, and the synchronicities will bring us. And I say this here as we get ready to wrap up this card, Elise, I want you to be able to understand this. And again, I say this to everybody. Again, if you're tuned into this reading is for you. Again, so if you're listening to this and you're just like, yo, this is speaking to me too, perfect, because you're here, you're listening to it. This is serving all of us. But I say this to you, Elise. This is such a powerful idea. You are already connected to the people who you have yet to meet. I want you to take into the concept of what the previous cards we were talking about, feel the future, and feel it. Just sit with that. Take like 10 minutes to meditate and just feel what it's like in 3 months from now, where it's just like, yes, we are having events on a semi-regular basis. I'm meeting new people. There are people who I'm meeting who are just like, I feel like I've known them my entire life. I'm dancing, I'm celebrating. I'm in this like a constant place of inspiration and growth. I'm moving into more of my own leadership, and knowing that those people who you have yet to meet, you are already connected with, the synchronicity will bring it together. As you build it, they will come. You create a portal for synchronicity. That is your power. That is your power, Elise, to be able to create portals for synchronicity. So again, in the same way I'm talking about creating events, this can happen through art. This can happen through our posts that we're making on social media. This can happen through individual discussion. This can happen through, lo and behold, free hugs. When I do free hugs, just again, to give an example, when I do free hugs, I'm doing something very magical when I do free hugs. A lot of people don't even see it right away, but for those of you, if you're tuned into this broadcast, you'll understand it. When I do free hugs, I'm creating a space for synchronicity to occur. I'm creating a portal for compassion to move into that space. So when I do free hugs, I am already connected with the people who I've yet to meet in that moment, in that evening. And I trust this and I show up, and then people show up to me and they're just like, yo, free hugs. And it's a great way to be able to attract people who are like-hearted and like-minded. And then it opens up discussion, it opens up conversation. And this is the power of like the free hugs combined with the concept of creating physical community. And this is the blueprint that I give to everyone to help accelerate the shift as shifters, like guardians, people assisting the shift in consciousness. Is that when you do free hugs, if you feel like called to do Elise, if you feel like called to do free hugs, Elise, once you order, like if you want to get your Lumerian, let me know. I'll put in an extra free hug sign for you, plus like more of the buttons too, right? Because I want you to experience this. Go do free hugs as you have an event set up. This is tactics. I'm talking tactics right now. Create an event, do free hugs, and use that for networking, where when you come up and people do free hugs with you, you talk to them and you just be like, by the way, if you're interested, we have an event coming up this Friday and you are totally welcome to come out. Do you want me to add you on Instagram and I can send you more information about it? Or maybe, hey, here's a pamphlet. You can make a pamphlet and you can give that to them. And then out of that, the free hugs becomes a super, 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 super powerful networking event that instantly just like connects people with the community. This is how I built the community where I was. I created an event, a regular event through my college and then a downtown yoga studio. I would go out and do free hugs on like Friday nights, wherever. People would come up to me and they'd be like, yo, free hugs. I see this. I see what you're doing. I see you helping change the world. I see you like shifting consciousness. And plus, when they do free hugs, I give them the buttons. So the buttons connect them to the website. So it creates a gift, creates a meaningful connection. And then I'm like, yo, please feel free to come out to our events. There's other like-minded people like myself, like you, and you can meet them. And I did this with people, and people were just like, holy shit, this changed my life. This connected me with tribe. This brought me into a new space of like finding other like-minded people. And this opened me up into a new part of myself. And this was huge. So again, the free hugs is another way for the Princess of Cups to be able to serve in a very like immediate moment. So for anybody here, if you're watching this, this is a call for you to practice doing free hugs. You don't need an event to be able to tell people about, but just doing free hugs in itself is a super valuable thing that for anybody here, I invite you as a call to action to practice experiencing free hugs, and also do it with the idea of noticing, going back to the other cards where it's like, ooh, that's challenging. Ooh, that's like outside of my comfort zone, but do it from a deep place of service, of trust, of intuition, of understanding how synchronicity works. And once you get like those first few connections where people are just like, hey, this was really meaningful to me, it will just inspire you even more. So again, Elise, let's get you a free hug sign once you like order your Lumerian Light Guardian crystal after signing up for the Patreon. And I would love to be able to, again, help assist you in building the community events where you are. Like seriously, that is a part of my service. I've spent the past 10 years creating community events, facilitating community, me evolving as a leader to be able to help create other leaders, right? Like that's what a good leader does. They help create other leaders. They help teach people how to lead themselves. So Elise, as much as me just saying this to you tonight of just being like, hey, I'm a leader, you're a leader, and now you get to carry that inspiration forward. Ripples create waves, like boom, 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 boom. And Elise, just think about the idea that your actions are going to create other leaders in your community. And they're going to bring together other creators and leaders. And that's going to be a super powerful, like, you know, like mastermind that's going to come together from that. So you want to connect with like the other leaders in your community, and you will. And you will. And you are already connected to them. So again, Elise, let me know how this card resonates with you. Such a powerful card. Through the Princess of Cups, we receive the indication to develop our talents and use them in a practical manner. Practical, right? Above and beyond that, it can also indicate that we will reap the appropriate recognition and reward for our efforts. Putting in the effort. Again, this card is all about feeling those ideas like in the higher hive mind and being like, what does the universe want? And what does it want to come? Like, how does it want me to serve? And if the universe is like, like my child of the earth, I want you to find the others. I want you to bring people together. I want you to create art. I want you to create other leaders. I want you to be mirrors for each other's growth. This is what the universe wants, because it's the same thing that came through me, and it's the same thing that's going to come through each of us in different forms. And so you listen to that. And again, in any case, it concerns, among other things, concrete obtainable results based on the foundation of spiritual value within community. And that's what we're talking about. We are talking about concrete obtainable results. This is a very concrete obtainable result. The objective for you to be able to create an event, bring people together, that's obtainable. Like that's not far out there. I've done it. Other people have done it. You can do it too. You, the person listening to this broadcast, not just Elise, you can facilitate community where you are. So for everybody listening to this, I invite you to just kind of reflect. And if you feel inspired by this, absolutely reach out to me afterwards and we can chat more. But if you're just like, yo, I can do this, I can create community where I am, it's because you can. And again, if you ask yourself, if I don't, who will? Then let that be like the recognition to be like, this was meant for me. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm in my community. And sometimes people wonder that. They're just like, yo, there's no one else in my community who's woke like me, right? And it's kind of sad and it's kind of lonely. But if that's the case, if you're like one of the few people in your community, then that means you're like the one who's going to help start things. You're the initiator. You're like the spark that's going to kind of like ignite this ripple effect. You're the person who's going to create that portal for synchronicity to bring people together. And in the same way, you're like, yo, I wish there was other people for me to connect with. There's other people who are thinking the same thing and you guys just haven't found each other yet. And you create that space, it brings people together. It's obtainable. It's realistic. It's practical. So again, very, very, very cool. Earth and water elements, the practicalness of the earth, the water focusing on like the emotional, the intuitive kind of like calling in the service, the Princess of Cups to be the bridge between like the king and the queen with the city, like the culture, the kingdom. How can you serve? So this card is so much about service. So awesome. So thank you so much, Elise. Let me know how that resonates. Go ahead, write something out in detail because I want to read what you wrote because I can feel you being inspired. Elise has already like left some comments. She's like, totally feel this, leaving some like emoticons, big hearts, so much gratitude. So Elise, even let me know what your ideas are. Let me know if you're just like, yo, I feel like creating some community event. Let me know because I'd love to be able to read that. And again, Elise signed up for our $11 Patreon supporter amount, which means that she can join as our leading member within, which is our private community, which means she gets to work alongside me and I get to help support her even more to be able to help creating like what it is that she's working on creating. And maybe she'll be on a future broadcast and she'll tell you about it. And she'll be like, yo, like this is the event that I'm creating. And you guys can tune into the broadcast and see the ongoing story. So again, it's kind of cool. Even within these broadcasts, there's a bigger story that unfolds by simply you being tuned into like what it is that we're creating here. So Elise, thank you so much. I just want to take a moment here to give some gratitude to everybody in the chat and also just to be able to like reiterate some instructions. Awesome. And yeah, Elise says, yes, feeling this, be the catalyst, be the change. Catalyst, again, catalyst. Such a powerful word. So Princess of Cups. Elise, if you haven't yet, go ahead and add me on Instagram and send me a direct message there and I'll send you the picture for that because I'd like you to be able to get a reading for that. Like to be able to read that afterwards. Because I think if you just read that, that would be a good thing to just be able to like read on your own and just be able to like extract as much as you can from it as well. So Elise, thank you so much for that reading. And for everybody else in the chat, leave an 1111 in the chat if that resonated with you. If you're just like, yo, I feel that too. Like, I want to know, like, how many other people here are just like, yo, I feel like being a catalyst for my community. Yo, I feel like being able to help, like, create conscious space. I want to be able to, like, be in service to others and everything like that. Like, absolutely. That is such a powerful trait as a leader. So acknowledging the leader within me acknowledges the leader within you. So Elise, everybody, let that card, Princess of Cups, be such a powerful card to be able to call us into action. So awesome. So Elise, just posting my Instagram into the chat. For those of you who haven't yet, please feel free to add me on Instagram at instagram.com/Mystic Spider-Man. That's the address that's up in the top of the screen there. And send me a DM. Just let me know if you tuned into this broadcast afterwards. I'd love to just be able to chat with you and connect with your Instagram as well. So go ahead and follow me on Instagram. Other people dropping the 1111s in the chat, seeing people resonating with that. Super awesome being able to just know that people are, again, being able to get a lot out of this message. So Elise, thank you so much for helping bring that message forward. If you're tuned into this on Facebook and it's your first time, please feel free to add me. Go ahead and don't just add me, but add me and send me a direct message because I get like new friend invites all day, like not all day, but often. And if I don't know that you tuned in from a broadcast, I probably won't add you. So if you're going to add me on Facebook, which I'm inviting you to do, if you're tuned into this broadcast, please add me. Send me a direct message afterwards and just be like, hey, I was tuned into your broadcast. Maybe express some gratitude. And that's a super awesome way to stay connected. So inviting you to stay connected. So again, if you haven't already yet, there's a lot more stuff that you can check out at paradigmshiftcentral.com, which is like the global project we do, which is about building a global team of shifters, people who are intentionally helping assist with the shift in consciousness and being able to help create physical paradigm shift communities. So there's different physical paradigm shift communities across the world. And you can create one where you are. And I think Elise is going to definitely be creating something soon. So awesome. Anna says, aka Vanna, says, I made myself a list of what I can do to inspire my community. Anna, awesome. fellow shifter, Anna, thank you so much. That's beautiful to be able to hear. Found in Wonderland, dropping the 1111s in the chat. Corinda, thank you so much for tuning in. Another one of our Patreon supporters. Happy to be able to have you here. Thank you so much. I know it's probably like people are tuning in from Europe right now. Again, it's getting late, so people in Europe are going to be waking up and tuning into this. Like I said, this is a marathon broadcast, so I'm going to keep going as long as the Patreon donations are coming in. Again, thank you everyone for leaving your comments, for letting me know that you resonated with that. Just answering some comments down in the chat. Tash Z, thank you so much for joining in. So Tash Z, if you would like to be able to get a reading on air, they are available for when people sign up to the Patreon. So I'll leave a link down into the chat for the Patreon. It only takes about 5 minutes to sign up, 3 minutes rather. And the Patreon is a monthly micro donation to support the work that I do for the community as a conscious media creator. And your contribution there can also get you 25% discount for the item shop, which is like the shift buttons you can get there, the shifter booster kits. You can even get a monthly shifter booster kit. And I want to be able to just check in with people here in a second. But also when you sign up for, again, the Patreon, you can also get a Light Guardian Crystal for as much as you wish to pay. So how much do these cost? As much as you wish to pay once you sign up for the Patreon. So you can sign up for $3, $5, $11. At the $11, you can get the Lumerian one, and also the option to join as a leading member, which is a private membership, which again allows you to like work alongside myself, other members of the team, join in for a broadcast, publish content through the website, help get featured. So if you're a conscious media creator or YouTuber, or like any sort of like arter, that's a funny word, artist, and you would like to be able to help get supported in creating art, then definitely consider becoming a leading member. And yeah, so again, for anybody who would like, what we're gonna do here, we're gonna be able to just like take a break, and I want to be able to invite space for a new person to be able to sign up for the Patreon. So Kim, if you're still tuned in, she's asking if she can have a card. So again, to be able to jump the line for the reading is by signing up for the Patreon. So we've gotten 2 signups for the Patreon. My objective was to get 3 signups before the end of the broadcast. So let's get at least 1 more signup, and then if we can get 5 signups, that's a super awesome bonus. And again, like that's working towards our team objectives. So if anybody here is interested in signing up for the Patreon, please go ahead and leave a comment in the chats. I just want to be able to take a moment here. Yeah, so it's getting a little bit later in the night, so we've probably got less people tuned in, unless like people in Europe are tuning in right now. So I can see that we've got how many people are on Instagram. If you're tuning in on Instagram, just drop like some comments in the chat. Rethink Reality, thank you so much for tuning in. Awesome. Sushi, I'm not sure if you're still tuned in, but but if you're still here, please feel free to leave some comments. Abundance and everything, thanks so much for tuning in. And let's just see how many people do we got. So yeah, we still got about like, I would say over a dozen people tuned in right now. We've got about 8 people on YouTube. Fat Doom, if you're tuned in on Instagram or on Twitch, and Gaster Two Soul, if you're tuned in on Twitch, and if you are interested in reading, please feel free to drop a 333 in the comments. For anybody here who's just interested in like getting a reading, because we can do one straight out of the chat, but again, I want to be able to invite people to be able to sign up for the Patreon. And so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna take a break because I need a bit of a break. And we're going to see if there's anybody else who wants to sign up for the Patreon. And if we can get like 1 more person signed up, that may be the last reading that we do tonight. Because again, I'll have to take a break. Because again, and I really just honor you for acknowledging like the amount of energy that goes into this. These broadcasts, absolutely, they take energy, right? Like by me like this is literally me like channeling for like 2 hours, 3 hours straight, right? So there's like a lot of wisdom, a lot of inspiration that's coming through here. So again, just like I really appreciate everyone here just acknowledging the energy that we put into this. And again, your support, sharing the broadcast, commenting, hanging out, carrying this inspiration with you further. It definitely helps like honor the energy exchange that we're creating here. And one of the best ways that you can honor the energy exchange is also by signing up for the Patreon. So let's keep an eye open for the next person to be able to sign up for the Patreon. And that will help us at least reach our target goal for tonight of 3 new Patreon supporters. So for anybody in the YouTube chat, just go ahead, just checking in real quick on the YouTube chat. If you're interested in signing up for the Patreon, just let me know in the comment. Just be like, yo, I'm going to sign up. Corinda, one of our Patreon supporters already signed up for the Patreon. And Corinda actually got one of the Light Guardian crystals. She actually ordered one all the way to where she was, which is in the Netherlands. I'm trying to remember if that's where I sent it to. But Corinda, thank you again for your support on the Patreon. All right, give me 2 seconds here. I just have to stop talking for like just a little bit. I appreciate everyone hanging out, and it's 2:30 in the morning where we are right now in Canada. So awesome. Saronas, thank you so much. Rethinking Reality, thank you again so much for tuning in on Instagram. If you're tuning in on Instagram, you can go to my Instagram story and swipe up to be able to tune in on YouTube. Right, so it only takes Netherlands. Yeah, awesome, Corinda. Thank you so much. So I like the idea that people are tuning into this and they like have their light guardian crystals right now. Cool, awesome. Shar says, I'm signing up as soon as my cards come to me. Awesome, Shar, thank you so much. And please feel free, Shar, go ahead and like, again, send me your friend requests as well. That way so you can just stay in touch, and if you have to update me with anything, please let me know. So again, let's just take a few moments here. I want to be able to continue to invite a new person to be able to sign up for the Patreon. And when you sign up for the Patreon, we'll do a reading for you live on air or private as well. And yeah, and again, that will probably be our last reading for the night. At the same time, I do just want to be able to check if there are people here that are just like that are just looking to also just be able to get a reading straight from the chat. Go ahead and drop a 333 in the chat if you're just looking to be able to get a reading live on air, because again, we want to be able to like consider that option as well. But at the same time, we're just going to wait a few moments here to be able to create an opportunity for someone else to be able to sign up for the Patreon. And if you're tuned into this on Facebook, and if you haven't recently, go ahead and share the broadcast. You can share it into a couple groups. Amy, thank you again for your help on sharing on the broadcast. Sharing in the broadcast, because again, when you share the broadcast, it creates the opportunity where it allows like someone to tune in and they're just like, oh, I would love to have a reading, and I would love to be able to sign up for the Patreon, and that helps. So by you sharing the broadcast, it's also like helping potentially like get more people to be able to support on the Patreon. So I appreciate that. So yeah, so I just need to take a break here. I've been going hard, shifting paradigms pretty hard, but I appreciate everybody hanging out. Okay, so what I was going to ask, just as we're taking a break here, for everybody here, just being able to ask for feedback. If theoretically, let's say if you were to like sign up for the Patreon at like maybe like a higher than $11 at like a $20 level, or even like a $33 level. There is a $33 level, and that's like our monthly shifter booster kit, which is super awesome value. What would be something that you would like totally say yes to be able to like sign up onto the Patreon? And I'm asking you this just because I want to be able to like give you children of the earth like what you want, to be able to help provide like more of what it is that you may be looking for. So what would be something that would be like a total yes for you to be able to like sign up onto the Patreon for like a higher level? Like what would be some other things that you would want me to be able to like offer, where like maybe again, you know, like there's like more kind of like perks and things like that? Honestly, there's one idea that I have that I've kind of joked about this before, like even I've even kind of joked about this like with my partner as well. But I'm like, I've always had this idea. I'm like, like I bet people would probably like sign up if I did like some sort of like special like semi like erotica photo shoot. And don't take that the wrong way either, because like I'm totally one about like being able to like just like honor the human body and stuff like that. But I'm just kind of curious. Like I'm not saying that I'm literally doing this, but is it, again, it's just kind of late at night. We're just kind of chit chatting and stuff like this. But what do you guys think? I'm asking this just for feedback. What do you guys think about the theoretical idea of me creating some sort of like artistic, somewhat erotica photo shoot? Nothing too lewd or anything like that. I don't know. I haven't thought of it yet. Would that be of value to you? Because again, there's other people like that use Patreon and they do that. Absolutely. They'll do, you know, there's like a lot of cosplayers that will do that and things like that. And now again, I'm not saying that you would like have to, I don't know if I'll do that. If the supply is there, if the demand is there, I'll consider it. That's why I'm asking you. For anybody watching to this who's like way later in the broadcast, if doing some sort of like special photo shoot, or like I'll get like my like partner to like help me with it or something like that. And like, I don't know, it'd be like, but I would want to do it where it'd be like kind of like spiritual, like it would be like somewhat like erotica, nothing too lewd, but like also like merged with like spiritual, like additional artistic style to it. Something that would be like really inspiring and like beautiful would be the intention behind it. And that would be like something that I've just considered as like a higher tier option. I don't know. Like you're the audience. You let me know. Is that something you would even be interested in? I know there would be some people that just be like, no thanks. But then other people would just be like, that'd be pretty cool. Like I'd be down to see that. That'd be pretty interesting. So awesome. Corinda saying maybe a shared show, a conversation of shift topic, personal experience, people like that. Corinda, that's very much what our synergy circles already are. So again, the synergy circles that we do, those are Thursday broadcasts at 9:30, where we invite other leading members onto the broadcast, where they get the chance to be able to like share personal experiences and things that they're working on to help accelerate the shift. So unless there's something like more specific that you're looking for, Corinda, like definitely like being able to like have that is super important, and I agree. Being able to create space for people to share their personal experiences, and again, that's what we've been creating through the Synergy Circle broadcasts as well. Cool. So again, if anybody has any other suggestions on what they would like to see as like something through the Patreon, please feel free to let me know. Amy's saying she plans on upgrading her Patreon. Thank you, Amy. Super appreciated. Absolutely. Yeah, so again, Corinda and anybody else, if you're looking for those past broadcasts, they're on my YouTube channel. You can just go back and find those there under recent videos. We do those like every Thursday. And yeah, they're super inspirational, and you can always go back and check out past ones. And we'll be doing another broadcast this Thursday, which will feature more of our leading members as well. Awesome. All right, so let's just check in. Who here, if you're just tuned in right now, go ahead and drop a 555 in the comments. Just give me some feedback. Let me know that you're tuned in. We got about probably 16 people tuned in. So let's see if anybody here is interested or planning on signing up for the Patreon in this moment, in the next few moments, and I'd like to just be able to hold space for that. So again, for those of you in the YouTube chat, go ahead, drop a 555. Just go ahead and let me know that you're here. And like I said, we'll check in. If there's another person who's going to sign up for the Patreon, we'll do another reading. Otherwise, I'm going to feel it out, and we may end up wrapping up the broadcast. So if you would like to be able to get a reading done, then please feel free to be able to sign up for the Patreon. It only takes 3 minutes. And just checking all the feeds here, making sure I didn't miss anything. And yeah, and then we can do one more reading for you. So, hey Manny, thanks for joining in. Terrorius Conspiratora, thank you so much for joining in. Saronas, thank you so much for being here if you're still in the broadcast. Yeah, so things are getting a little bit quiet right now, and that's okay. That's okay. We did get 2 Patreon signups during this broadcast. So go ahead, just leave some comments down in the chat. Kaya Nat, if you're still here, you're asking if you had issues asking. May I ask? Again, if you would like to, like, you're welcome to leave your comment of what you're asking in the chat. Though I don't necessarily do just kind of like psychic readings, but what you may be like seeking may be something that might be brought through in a reading, either during this broadcast or another broadcast. So for those of you tuning in on Facebook, if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube as well, youtube.com/SkullBabylon. So let's see. Cool. So yeah, let's take a few more minutes here. And if anybody else would like to be able to sign up for the Patreon, or please feel free to just share this broadcast, even if you're on Facebook. I have enough energy to do like one more reading. And if we have another person sign up for the Patreon, then we'll do that reading for them. And otherwise, then that's just basically the universe's way of saying like, hey Brendan, good job for tonight. You can go to bed now. So we'll give it a few more minutes to be able to invite anybody else who may be interested in signing up for the Patreon, because again, it looks like things have gotten a little bit quiet, and that's totally okay. That's totally okay. We definitely accomplished a lot tonight. So please feel free to just drop some comments. Shar, thank you so much. Shar, go ahead and send me a friend request if you haven't yet. If you're interested in signing up for the Patreon at some point. I can see a couple friend requests that have come in here, so I'm just going to reply to a couple of those. And it looks like I'll have to restart the feed on the Instagram in a second. So probably what I'm going to do, again, just checking in. Oh, Krinda just liked the Mystic Spider-Man page. Thanks, Krinda. So yeah, it looks like things are pretty quiet, and that's okay. Definitely had a lot of fun doing the broadcast tonight. I'm just gonna wind it down. I'm gonna actually probably just like play a little bit of like Twitch gaming style. Yeah, Corinda says you may go get your sleep and regeneration now. Thank you, Corinda. Thank you for giving me the permission there on behalf of the universe. And I really do. I appreciate that. Appreciate everybody looking out for each other. So awesome. All right. So again, if you're tuned into this broadcast, just go ahead and drop a 555 in the comments. There's like again, there's like about 16 people tuned in, but again, I want to see like how many people are like actually tuned in terms of just being able to like see your engagement. And again, if it's just like again kind of like crowd has dwindled, that's totally cool. And I'm glad that people got to tune in, and we definitely had a lot of fun tonight. So So I'm going to just chill out for a little bit, and we'll just kind of like allow. Whew, Amy is still here. Amy, thanks for joining in. Appreciate you guys being here. Amy's like been a paradigm shifter for quite a while. I appreciate that, Amy. Thanks for rocking it. Okay. I'm trying to get my controller to connect. Elise, you're still here. That's cool. Appreciate you still hanging out, Elise. All right, I'm gonna try and put on some gaming. I'm gonna do a little bit of gaming. Oh no, my battery's dead? Why isn't my controller working? Ah. There we go. Is that working? There we go. Alright, sweet. So yeah, I'm just gonna open up and do like a little bit of video gaming. Just to kind of like wind down. But again, if anybody's looking for an additional reading, please feel free to let me know. Elise, just asking you in the chat, do you have me on Instagram yet? Can you just confirm? Like, can you confirm that you can send me a direct message somewhere? I'll send you a direct message like through like also through Patreon as well. But let me know if you can just send me a direct message through Instagram. That's totally cool as well. And oh, it looks like I have to restart the broadcast. All right, so there, I just restarted the broadcast on Instagram, which means we are officially in hour 3. Have we been going for 3 hours? Wow, that's a long time. You know me, I got the endurance for it. Do you know how many hours of broadcast I've done, like for the community? Like it's like thousands, right? It's crazy, but there's a lot of experience point. Awesome, you messaged me on Instagram. Sweet. Oh, Corinda, I just got your friend request on Facebook too. Perfect. Now we are connected on multiple platforms. Awesome. Jessica, I got your friend request. Jamie, Skylar, thank you so much. Where's my device here? Still drinking my tea here. So again, for those of you who may be tuning in, I have enough energy to be able to do one more reading. That's awesome. A person sent me a comment through Instagram just talking about how they really resonated with what I was talking about tonight. Elise, thank you so much. I see your comment here. Elise saying just like, wow, what a reading. Thank you so much. What I've been working on was confirmed through this. Beautiful, beautiful. Awesome. That's so cool, Elise. I'm looking forward to being able to just like chat some more and learn more about what you're working on and stuff like that. And yeah, Elise, like, yeah, absolutely, you'll get a discount for the item shop too, so you can decide like what you want to like load up with your package. So we can put a Lumerian Light Guardian crystal in it, but we can all like I'm totally down to like put in an extra free hug sign and stuff like that. But then you can also decide if you want to like invest in getting some other stuff. Absolutely, because you like it would be worth it for you to even just get like, you know, like a decent size shifter booster kit with like 30 buttons or something like that. So definitely we can chat more about that, because I am more than happy to be able to just like help give people the gear to support them in connecting with community. Like seriously, these shift buttons have changed lives. Like, they're tools to hack the matrix with love, as I've said many times before. So, all right, I'm going to play a little bit of gaming, but for everybody here, Chris, thanks for tuning in. Time to go in lucid dream time, aka lucid video game time, right? Okay. Give me 2 seconds here. I'm just going to launch up some Race the Sun, which is a super fun game. that I play, and it's like a super casual game as well. And then I'm gonna switch my like camera style. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. And cool. Actually, I'm just gonna make one little adjustment here. So again, if anybody here is just like chilling out, please feel free to just make yourself comfortable. I'm gonna play some video games in a second. Which is cool because again, I broadcast on Twitch too, right? So like by me broadcasting on Twitch, it's like a combination of like video games and like spiritual insight. So people might tune in and be like, see me playing video games, but then they might be like, oh wait, what? This guy's like actually like talking about stuff that's changing my life. So it's kind of a really cool way to synchronistically connect with people. All right. Okay, 1 second here. Okay. Alright. Let's play some Race the Sun. I love this game. Super cool. Alright, check this out. Okay, so thank you again, everyone. Again, if anybody wants one more reading, please feel free to let me know. And we can totally do that before we wrap up the broadcast. And here we go. Watch. Video game mode activates. So keep an eye on the chats here. Facebook chat. How's the Facebook chat going? Amy's still in the Facebook chat. Just got another friend request. Shar, just saw your friend request. Adding your friend request on Facebook. And yeah, so thank you again, everyone. So again, if anybody wants to sign up for the Patreon, I'll post a link for that in the live chat. I do have enough energy to do one more reading. Like seriously, this is a marathon. So if there's anybody else who wants a reading, please feel free to sign up for the Patreon. I'm just gonna play some video games and we'll just kind of create a little bit of time, and then we'll wrap it up for the evening. Rethink Reality, thanks so much for tuning in. If you want to jump in on the YouTube, you'll see what I'm playing video game wise. Swipe up on my story and you'll see it there. Elise, thank you so much. Elise says, I'm going to go make a tea. It's almost 8 a.m. here in the UK. I hope all you guys have a fantastic day. Thanks again. Elise, thank you so much for your support on the Patreon and for tuning in for the broadcast and for helping pull that card and for the work that you are like doing and that has already been done. I'm looking forward to being able to just like play together a little bit more. So thank you, Elise. Super appreciate it. Awesome. For those of you tuning in on Twitch, Dragon2344, thanks so much for tuning in. Christina's, thanks so much for tuning in. Again, we're kind of like doing like tarot reading, but right now we're also in the stage where it's a little bit later in the broadcast, and we're also just going to play some video games, and I'll keep an eye on both the chats. Just responding to another friend request. Joannis, thank you. Friend request accepted on Facebook. Awesome. Thanks for sharing. So if anybody has any questions, if anybody's just like, hey, how do I get a reading or anything like that, let me know. And again, I'm just going to show you, like, here's some like super dope light guardian crystals. So again, if you're just like, how do I get the light guardian crystals? Then absolutely, I'm more than happy to be able to answer that. And again, that's like through the quest item shop or through signing up for the Patreon. So let's play a little bit of some Race the Sun here. I'm going to keep an eye on the chats. And we'll make sure that the feed's rolling through still. And sweet. Alright. Make sure the controller's working. And it's not working right this second. I think the signal... I think my batteries are low, that's why. So I just have to like reset the signal. Once I get that set up, then I'll be able to use it. Maybe it's the other controller. Yes, it is. All right. Okay. All right. So thank you again, everyone, for joining in. Let me know how the frame rate is on this. Whoops. I swear I wasn't trying there. And I'm going to keep an eye on the Twitch chat as well. Christine. Oh, did someone just send me a friend request as well? Chris Tarzan. Christina, seeing your comment on the live and the Lightworkers live feed. So again, Christina, if you would like a reading on air, I do have enough energy to do one more reading, and you can get a reading on air at this point. The next reading that we'll be doing is for someone who signs up for the Patreon. Again, that can be like a $3 donation, a $5 donation. It's a monthly contribution, and you can also get your Light Guardian Crystal when you sign up as well. And again, we're near the end of the broadcast, so if you're looking for just like totally free readings, absolutely tune in for future broadcasts. We do those like right at the beginning. And if you're looking for either a private reading as well, then you can sign up for the Patreon and also choose a private reading also. So Christina, if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. All right, so we got a few chats here. Awesome. Joannis, if anybody's looking for a reading, please feel free to let me know. And again, I appreciate everybody joining in. Chris, send Facebook requests. Chris, are you asking me to send you a Facebook request, or did you send me a Facebook request? And if anybody here wants to like share their social media profiles into the chat, please feel free. Like that way, so people here can like add each other. All right. All right. So just hanging out here, keeping an eye on the chat. So I'm just going to play this just for the next few minutes. Again, just thanking everyone again for joining into the broadcast tonight. It was definitely a lot of fun, as always. Definitely got a lot of inspiration out of it. And yeah, now we're just kind of like hanging out, chilling out, playing some Race to Sun. This is like a super cool... This game's like very meditative. And basically it's like the objective's quite simple. You're just like flying through these levels. And it's, yeah, it's very much like a flow state type game. So like this game gets like super intense, but that's what I love about it. Again, I like the challenge, like, right? Like what we were talking about earlier, when it comes to challenges, embracing them, that's how video games work, right? Like you wouldn't want to just play on level 1 the entire time. You wouldn't want to be like, you know, by the time you're like 5 hours into the game and you're just playing like the same level over and over again, like, yo, you don't want that. You want to be able to like level up, and you want the challenge because you want to be able to experience like the success of like going through those challenges as well. Awesome. Chris sent a friend request. Chris, did I get your friend request? Is that Chris, let me know what profile you sent your friend request under. I'm not sure if I see it just yet, but I'll keep an eye open for it. Awesome, thank you. All right, so again, we're gonna get close to wrapping up this broadcast in the next minute. This is just kind of the wind down stage. If anybody else would still like a reading, though, I do have energy to do one more reading if we can get one more Patreon sign up. So again, our objective tonight was to get 3 Patreon signups, and we got 2 Patreon signups. So if we can get that additional Patreon sign up, then that is like a huge bonus point. So and we'll keep an eye open for that. All right, and in the meantime, I'm just gonna like beat this game. I don't even think you can beat this game. Like, there's no end to it. It's kind of like life. Like, it just kind of, you know, you just keep going and going, and it just becomes like even more like beautiful and rewarding in its own way. Whoa, that was close. Did you see that? Whoa, that was really close too. So again, the part of the challenge is like doing this level while also talking to everyone as well. But yeah, this game is like a part of my soul. I feel it. Reminds me of my days as a starfighter pilot, aka the future. Alright, if anybody's still tuned in, please feel free to let me know. Chris, let me just... Did I see your friend request come in? Maybe it was underneath somebody else's friend request. I'll make sure I got it here. And thank you for, again, Chris, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it, dude. There it is. Alright, Chris, got it. Friend request accepted. Thanks, brother. Alright. Okay, cool. So yeah, like I said, I'm just gonna play this game for maybe about like 10 more minutes. But if anybody else does still want a reading, you can sign up for the Patreon or just ask me a question of how to be able to get a reading, and we can do one more reading. So again, for even those of you on Instagram, sign up, swipe up on my story to be able to tune in on YouTube. Otherwise you probably like will just see me holding a controller, which doesn't make any sense. If you swipe up on YouTube, so Walmart, I see you joining in. If you swipe up on YouTube, you'll see what we're playing. Guided by Angels. Hey, welcome back. I love seeing familiar faces here. Hiya, it's nearly 8 a.m. here, getting ready for work. Just wanted to jump on and said that everyone watching, lots of love and support. Oh, awesome. Guided by Angels. I really appreciate that. That means a lot. I love that. Seriously, it's been really cool being able to do these broadcasts and just like getting to recognize people's, handles and names and be like, yo, this is a person. They have a face and a name behind them. They have a story to them, and really just being able to feel your support. So Guided by Angels, thank you so much. That really means a lot. Like, just the fact that you would go out of your way just to do that, that says a lot about you. So I really appreciated that. And I see that in you. So thank you as well. Want to know something crazy that I did today? I did something so crazy today. I talked to a stranger on the bus. Like, it was like so crazy, right? Because I was like, it was my first time on the bus in a long time. And there was like a woman in a wheelchair. And she was just being very quiet. And then I just basically like went out of my way. I stood up. And then I complimented her shoes. And then I just started talking to her, and then we just like had a conversation. And then I gave her a button. I was like, here, you can have a gift. And yeah, I was just like talking about like, it's just like, oh yeah, it's a nice day out and everything today. And I was just like kind of just like chit-chatting and stuff like that, and made her smile a few times. And you could tell that she was just like, whoa, this is different. Like, what? Like, I didn't expect someone to like talk to me and stuff like that, but you can tell it was meaningful. So again, I invite each of us to just I call you into action. Next time you're on the bus, try talking to someone. And if you're a little nervous about it, then definitely, if you get some shift buttons, it definitely helps. Like, guaranteed, if you're just like, yo, I have trouble talking to strangers, having the shift button creates like a super simple yet potent way to break the ice, where you can just like chat with someone and then just be like, oh yeah, by the way, like here's like a cool gift that you can like have as well. And then they'll just be like, whoa, thanks, what is this? And then you can start talking about metaphysics and spirituality. Oh no, the sun's setting. I need a boost. Boost. Oh, there's a boost. Can I get it? Oh no, didn't make it that time. That was close. Alright, if anybody here who is still tuned into the broadcast, just drop a 555 in the chat. Let me know. Because again, we're going to wrap it up here in a minute. If there is anybody who would like one more reading, Tara Lynn, thank you so much for joining in. I see your comment on the Lightworkers live feed. Yeah, if you're interested in a reading, we are like holding space for one more person to sign up for the Patreon if they would like a reading. Like, I do have energy to do like one more reading. And yeah, and you can go ahead and check out like past broadcasts as well. We've been doing like lots of like readings here within the community. And it's great that there are like other readers as well. So I really appreciate just being able to like connect with all sorts of awesome people here. Because Tara Lynn was saying that we can like do readings for each other and stuff like that. So Tara Lynn, if you're like interested or whatever, please feel free to send me a friend request, and also please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube. And if anybody else is looking for a reading on air, again, that will be for someone who signs up for the Patreon. And we'll just hang out for the next little bit. And if there's no new Patreon signups in the next little bit, that's totally cool. And I'll be heading to bed soon. And like I said, we did get 2 new Patreon signups this broadcast. Chris, you're not already on Patreon, are you? Or like, is that something you're interested in signing up? I sent one under IG as well. Oh, Chris, you sent me a message on IG. Sweet, awesome. Corinda, thank you so much for joining in. Much love to you and every single person in the Netherlands. Appreciate you dropping in and sending the love. And thank you again for your support on the Patreon. Yeah, Chris, just checking in with you, dude. Were you interested in getting a reading, or are you interested in joining the Patreon at some point in the future? And if you are, please feel free to just let me know, or just send me. You can just message me in a DM if you want, as well. Chris, I didn't see and sent one under IG. Did you send me a follow? Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. I got it. All right, I'll follow you back, dude. Check that out. Awesome, dude. Hashtag vegan, hashtag artist, hashtag activist, adventurer. Dude, I love it, man. Awesome, dude. I'm looking forward to just being able to check out your stuff. Oh, wow, that's awesome. Loving the community photos. Love, love, love that. Dude, thank you so much. Nice. Some like photos of like activism. Very cool. Sweet, man. Chris, thanks for connecting, dude. Yeah, Chris, no worries, dude. Absolutely. Keep putting the energy where you need to. And again, I'm glad that you're able to tune in and just be able to like get like inspiration from like the readings that we're doing as a collective. And yeah, like tune in like next time. And like if you like chat to me ahead of time and you're like on air at the same time, like I can like set you up with like a reading through the broadcast. Cause like we do that as well, where basically like again, you know, like with certain exceptions and stuff like that, like I'm totally cool just kind of like for people that I know, just being able to do a reading for them through the broadcast with like the option of it being, you know, like affordable for their options. So yeah, definitely keep in touch, dude, and happy to be able to just provide like as much value as we can as a community. All right. And yeah, thanks again, Chris. Was this your have you tuned in much before? Like I'm just trying to remember. Like, I'm trying to, like, have you tuned into previous broadcasts, or is this your first time? Because I feel like I recognize your name. Like, I feel like I've seen you in the chat, and I apologize if I'm forgetting, but yeah, I just wanted to check in. Like, is this your first time tuning in? Because like again, I know you like just followed me on Instagram and stuff like that. So if you're brand new, then dude, welcome. Thanks so much for tuning in, man. And definitely be sure to check out like the other broadcasts that we got, like the synergy circles and stuff. All right, okay, so I'm gonna have to wrap up this soon. Like my body's getting pretty tired. Alini, thank you so much for joining in on the YouTube chat. Aloha and welcome. First time here, welcome. So Alini, just as a quick introduction, we've been doing readings throughout the evening. This is like kind of like a marathon, but we're gonna get close to wrapping up the broadcast soon. But I do still have energy to do one more reading, and that reading would be if someone is signing up for the Patreon during this broadcast, and that could either be like a private reading afterwards. So Alini, if you're interested, go ahead and check out the Patreon if you're interested in like getting a reading on air. And we already did like several readings, and they were like they were hype. Like people like really enjoyed them, and we were really like just being able to share like lots of inspiration there. So Alini, if it's your first time here, go ahead and check out the Patreon, even just to be able to like see more about what I do. And again, I'm a conscious media creator. I'm like an award-winning Canadian filmmaker. I've been creating conscious media for like 10 years. I've created full-length movies. I've done like over 600 broadcasts, podcasts. I help create like space to facilitate other conscious media creators. And when you sign up on the Patreon, you can also get a beautiful Light Guardian crystal. So if you've never seen one of these are like super awesome items that I hand make. And these are available for when people sign up on the Patreon as a pay what you wish contribution. So super cool. Yeah, Alini, even if you just check out the Patreon, you can also get like a private reading as well. So and that can be like more of like a one-on-one video chat. So Alini, if you're interested in signing up on the Patreon, go ahead and even just send me a direct message on Instagram. Assuming you're on Instagram, I'll just post that into the chat as well. Because yeah, I know it's late, right? Like it's like 3 a.m. Not many people are up right now. Like seriously, it's kind of funny. Like it's so late. It's so late that like people in Europe start waking up and tuning in. That's how late it is right now. Christina, sorry, just seeing your comment now. Yes, so Christina, if you join on the Patreon, that helps you jump the line to be able to get a reading on air. So absolutely, if someone signs up, like that's why I'm still on air right now, because I'm creating space for like if there's someone else who still is just like, this is the right time for me to get a reading, and you would like to get a reading either on air right now or tired, maybe let's do a private reading, then you can get a private reading as well. And the private readings are actually like really valuable in their own way, because it can be like us talking, which is super cool to be able to connect, and then it can like really be able to just like go deeper with that. Cool, awesome. Alini, thanks so much for subscribing. There's a lot of really cool stuff on my channel, and I think you'll definitely enjoy it. Go ahead and check Patreon signups during this broadcast, which was our objective, our intention. And And yeah, and I appreciate you just hanging out here, Christina, as well. And if you do have any other questions, please feel free to let me know. And if you sign up for the $11, then you can also get one of the Lumerian crystals. So again, like the Lumerian crystals are like the high tier quality crystals. Like these ones are like even more like high cut. And seriously, like the Lumerian ones, like these things are becoming more and more rare. Like I invested in these like a while ago where I was like able to come across them. And I think of myself as like a crystal ambassador where I like help these crystals like reach new homes so that they can serve and assist other people on their journey. And again, to be able to convert them into light guardian crystals, super powerful. So this is an example of a Lumerian one. They're different sizes, different cuts. And yeah, if you're interested in this, then absolutely signing up for the $11 level on the Patreon will get you that. Plus, when you sign up on the $11 level, it also gives you the option to join our private membership space, which we refer to as leading members within the community, which is like where you get to like work alongside me as a conscious media creator, tune in for the broadcasts, be on air and help your content reach a wider audience, help your story reach a wider audience. So Christina, if you have any questions about that, please feel free to just leave a comment in the chat. I'll respond to that as best as I can. And just keeping an eye on the chats as well. Again, we're broadcasting across multiple channels. Okay. It's going to take a second here. Alright, so yeah, I'm just going to keep gaming just for the next little bit. Christina, I'm going to just hang out here because, again, I just want to be able to, like, if anybody else, like, wants to sign up for the Patreon, now's the time, and please just let me know in the comments. If you're just like, hey, I'm signing up, let me know in the comments. That way, so I don't, like, end the broadcast too soon. Ken Hia, thank you so much for tuning in, and Yares, thank you so much for tuning in. Please feel free to go back and check out like the previous the recording of this as well, and I'll post a link for that for the YouTube so you can check it out, so you can skim the broadcast. And there's definitely a lot that came through this where if you just even check the reading in the future, then you can definitely like get some of the inspiration from the broadcast from there. So I'll just post the link for the YouTube. So yeah, so I'm gonna wrap up this broadcast in the next few minutes. I'm just gonna play this game just for a little bit longer. And I appreciate everybody again just tuning in, and be sure to subscribe. And yeah, we'll be doing more of these broadcasts. I'll probably do another one tomorrow as well. All right. For those of you tuning in on, is there people tuning in on? Hey, Ninka, thank you so much for tuning in on Instagram. If you're tuning in on Instagram, go ahead and swipe up on my stories to tune in on YouTube. All right, so just keep an eye on the chat. Amy, if you're looking to get like a separate reading, I would do that as like we could do that as like a private reading. That would basically be like if you're like, since you're already like a Patreon member, like I'm not really doing like for that, like basically it would just be like a contribution of a pay what you want type thing. Like if I'm doing readings like purely just like not through Patreon and stuff like that, like usually it would be like a pay what you wish between like $20 to like $60 and stuff like that. But that would be like an hour of like really going deep and things like that. So Amy, if you're looking for like that, like let me know, like even if there's like a budget, and we can figure something out. It's totally cool. But yeah, if you do want to get like a private reading, I'm always open to that. And yeah, like definitely always got like special perks and privileges for Patreon supporters. Just have to be able to like schedule it in basically. Stephanie says, so you claim to be a gaming psychic. I have not claimed to be that, but maybe. I don't even like use the term, like I don't claim to be psychic, no more so than the fact that we're all psychic. So when I do my readings, I consider them like, I refer to them as intuitive insight readings, kind of. So like I don't claim to be psychic in the sense where I'm like trying to predict your future. That's never like what I've done in my readings. It's always just kind of like, hey, here's like insight that's going to help like serve you. That's going to help you like see something and help you like reflect. So no, I'm not like the type of psychic that's like like here's a message from your guides and like here's like what the future holds for you. It's more just kind of like a much more practical, grounded style of being able to like provide insight and inspiration. So, but I appreciate the question. I appreciate the question, Stephanie. Absolutely. But yeah, I like that idea that like all of us are psychic, you know? If being psychic can even just if like telepathy, right? Like if we can be telepathic even just a little bit, what's preventing us from being telepathic all the time? That's a very interesting question. Filters, man, filters. And we can learn to be like more telepathic and more intuitive. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, Amy just saying that she does readings for herself, but having readings done by someone else once in a while helps provide perspective. Absolutely, I agree, right? Like, sometimes you do want to be able to just have that other person just be able to, like, help with their reading. All right, so I'm going to wrap up this broadcast in about 5 minutes unless, again, if anybody else signs up for the Patreon in the next 5 minutes, super appreciated. And we can do one more reading for you. Otherwise, I'm going to call it a night and head to bed. And if you haven't already yet, please feel free to subscribe to the newsletter. Stephanie, no problem. Happy to have you here. If you haven't already subscribed to the newsletter, please feel free to subscribe to that. And you can get like more content that we send out from the community, plus information for upcoming broadcasts. And you can also subscribe to my YouTube. So if you're on Facebook, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube, because there's a lot of stuff that happens through there. It's not just like on my Facebook. And also you can subscribe to my Instagram. I'll post a link for that in the chat too. And all the info for that's like in the video for this. Chris, you heading out? Thank you so much for joining in. Much love, hearts, mushrooms, and dragons. Appreciate it. Chris, thanks again for joining in. I really appreciate you being here. And thank you for the work you're doing, dude. Like, straight up, thank you for the work that you're doing. Sending you lots of love, man. Alright. And there we do have like a public live chat. So Chris, if you want to join our public live chat, go right to Paradigm Shift Central, scroll down, you'll see the option to connect to our public live chat, and you can join our public live chat as well. So if you want to do that, dude, absolutely, please feel free. It's a Discord chat. So cool. All right, last few minutes of the broadcast. If anybody else has any other questions or even just any gratitude they want to be able to express, please feel free to leave that down in the comments. And yeah, we'll be wrapping this up in the next little bit. So thanks again, everyone. Oh, get the boost. Whoa, that was close. Alright, so this is pretty much like my last run, and then we're wrapping it up. Whoa. That was close. See how far I can get here. Running low on sun juice. Oh. Am I gonna lose the boost? Yeah, I think this might be where the broadcast ends. Yeah, it did. Alright. Awesome. Thank you again, everyone, so much for tuning in. Let me just check in on the chats if there's anybody else with any questions. Again, Christina, if you want to send me a friend request, absolutely, please feel free. Stephanie says, maybe you can help me understand the Fortnite obsession running rapid through my house. Yeah, I don't play Fortnite, so. Should I play Fortnite? Psychic Fortnite gaming. Awesome. Alright, so I'm going to wrap up this broadcast. Last call, if anybody else. Seba, we're just at the end of the broadcast asking, can I ask you a question for free? I don't really do the broadcast where it's just people asking questions in the chat. That's not really what the style is for my format, but I do provide like readings collectively for people within the broadcast, as well as specifically for people who are signing up on the Patreon. So Seba, if you want to check out the Patreon, go ahead and sign up for that. And when you sign up for that, you can get a reading on air or private. And I'll post a link for that as well. Aloha, Antonio. Simon, thanks so much for joining in. It's cool to see people who are like all my friends joining in. So again, we're just about to wrap up the broadcast here. I'm feeling that it's pretty much ready to call it a night. So last call, just checking in with the chat. If anybody here is planning on signing up on the Patreon in the next couple minutes, please let me know in the chat. And even if you're just like watching this and you want to sign up in the future, absolutely. Like, please feel free to do that. And then you can book a private reading with me. And again, you can also get your awesome Light Guardian crystals. So, So thank you so much, everyone, for joining in at this ungodly hour of 3 a.m. It's a witching hour right now. So, all right, just switching my camera here. All right, so last call. If there's anybody else who has like just any general questions. And thank you again, everyone, for joining in, for being a part of the broadcast, for hanging out, for being inspired, for carrying the shift with you. All right. Oh, excuse me. All right, so again, if there's any last questions, please feel free to just let me know, or just any gratitude you want to post into the comments, please feel free to let me know. And with that said, thank you, my gratitude for you. Thank you for tuning into this broadcast. Yeah, it looks like everyone's pretty much done for the night, which is cool. And yeah, if you're watching this, and if you haven't yet, please feel free to hit that like button. And with that said, we're pretty much ready to wrap it up. So, just checking in the live chats. Awesome. All right, last call. Unless, well, we still have like 11 people tuned in on Facebook. So again, specifically talking to Facebook, like the YouTube chat's kind of gone quiet. That's okay. Again, it's like 3 a.m. right now. Last call for people on Facebook. Is there anybody here who is looking to possibly get a reading live on air? Before we close off this broadcast, this is your last call for the night. And again, if you're signed up for the Patreon and you get a reading, it's not just for you. Like, you're helping other people too, because there may be other people who are gonna like be listening to this and just be like, "Yo, sweet! Like, this reading was actually like really helpful for me." So last call. There's like 11 people on Facebook. If you're tuned into this broadcast, even just drop a 555 in the comments. Let me know that you're here. And if you are looking for a reading, and if you are looking to sign up for the Patreon, let me know in the chat, like right now, because otherwise we're going to be wrapping it up. But again, I appreciate you tuning in, and I appreciate you just hanging out and getting some inspiration and connecting. And please feel free to explore more at paradigmshiftcentral.com. Subscribe to my YouTube at Skull Babylon. So yeah, so I know Amy's tuned in. Amy, both of us are up late. That's crazy. Us crazy Canadians, always shifting the paradigms at ungodly hours. So, all right. Cool. All right, so definitely, like, Amy's like, "Yo, I'm still here. If anybody else is still here, please feel free to let me know." There's 8 people tuned in on Facebook. So for the 7 other people other than myself and Amy, if you're here, please feel free. Oh, it's only 1 a.m. where Amy is. Jeez. Meanwhile, it's 3 a.m. here in Ontario. All right. So thank you again, everyone. Looks like we're pretty much at the point of the night where the broadcast is coming to its end. And so again, I appreciate everybody just being here. Please feel free to send me a direct message afterwards. For those of you on Facebook, please feel free to connect to my profile. Send me a friend request and send me a direct message as well. That way, so I know that you tuned in. If you just send me a friend request, I might not accept it. But if you send me a direct message, I'll know to accept it. And yeah, it's been another fun broadcast. So if anybody wants to just be able to express their gratitude for the team, please feel free down below. AKA just like put a message just being like, "Yo, thanks so much. I appreciate this." Your feedback is always greatly appreciated. And yeah, it's been another successful broadcast. So thank you again for helping hold space and helping us create this value for the community. Cool. All right, looks like with that said, we're gonna officially wrap up this broadcast. So please feel free to check out more. Again, sign up for the Patreon at any point. Donations don't process till the end of October. And you can also sign up there to be able to get a private reading with me, and again, to be able to get a dope light guardian crystal. So charging my dark crystal, my light guardian crystal. Sending you lots of love, everybody. Thank you so much again for being a part of this broadcast, and wishing you an awesome day, an awesome moment. And until next time, keep it shifty, and we will see you in the future. Much love, peace, and wholeness. This is Skull Babylon, aka Wolf, aka Wolf Shield, aka Mystic Spider-Man, aka Brendan, signing off. Until next time, we'll see you in the future. Much love.